Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. We are here. We are live for the So Rare Deadline stream. We are back, guys. It's been a long hiatus, it feels like, since me and Harry were back at the... we better bring Harry in, actually. My co-pilot for the Deadline stream, HarryTrades. Good to see you, my man. It feels like it's been a long hiatus since we've been here for the 1 o'clock stream, but it's actually only been like a couple of weeks or something. But we're back, and it's back in the afternoon, and it's the beginning, Harry. It's the beginning of Champion Euro. The Premier League is back. We've got La Liga, Liga, as well as a lot of the other stuff we've been knocking around with the last couple of weeks. Great to see you, Harry. How are you?
I'm doing well, mate. Thank you for having me back, and yeah, just buzzing to be back after the little hiatus that we've had. And yeah, man, it just feels like Christmas Eve, mate. It really does. It feels like Christmas Eve, and yeah, I'm just buzzing, mate. I'm absolutely buzzing.
It's going to be a big one for sure. Now, if you're joining us live, fist bumps to you as always. A bunch of you is here, in nice and sharp, getting in here. We're on time, we're early, we're hitting the intro sequence before the hour, and we're all getting everyone nice and comfy and ready to go, Harry, for the deadline. But the deadline stream, as ever, is packed with the latest and greatest, the details, latest lineups, and all the good stuff that we preview when we're here, running right into the deadline so we can get the best teams in for the weekend that we possibly can. But today, Harry, we've got a special kind of giveaway that we'll be doing around the 2 o'clock mark. So if you didn't read the tweets or whatever, I'll give you a quick background. I've been getting some super rares in the gallery and all the rest of it, yada yada. And Josh Forth, friend of the channel and the community, guy knows a few onions for sure, had won a Yang Hill Herrera card that I wanted because it was in the right jersey number for the right jersey. It was not a number for the collection. And I asked him if he would just do a wee shirt trade with me, you know, like a card that I'd won all the way back in game week 250, Yang Hill Herrera. And he very graciously said, Quinny, you can just have mine on the condition that you give yours away to somebody in the So Rare community. And I said, no problem, Josh. I cannot wait to give this card away because, Harry, it's not just a card. It's not just a super rare. But to me, and as far as NFTs and So Rare and Own Your Game goes and all that good stuff, I won this guy on location in game week 250. I was in the Mestalla. I was in the San Martin Valero Stadium for Elche, watching Ferran Torres, Soler, Depay, all these guys on the pitch, and they're the guys that went on and helped me win that Yang Hill Herrera. So it's a mad special card for me, and someday we're going to be giving that away. The competition is on Twitter. You just need to find at Quinny3001. Scroll for a second, you'll find it. It's been retweeted and shared a bunch of times. We'll be drawing the winner for that Yang Hill Herrera Super Rare. You're going to win that today. Keep it, sell it, do whatever you want with it. You know what we say here around the 2 o'clock mark. But he's playing centre mid for Girona. He signed on a permanent deal. He looks fit and healthy. He's came through pre-season. I'm buzzing for him anyway. And somebody out there is going to get their hands on it as well. So if you don't follow Josh already, he's at J44. I want to say he's tagged in the main tweet. You'll find him. Make sure to follow him. He knows his stuff. And we can't thank him enough for his generosity. But Harry, as we know, the patron saint of my So Rare Club, FC Barcelona, is SR Monkey, who's just started a brand new podcast, So Rare Ramble. So be sure to check out at SR Monkey on Twitter and all the social media places. Check out his podcast with Langdon. Two guys that have been around the block, know a thing or two. Again, we're talking about guys that know their onions, Harry. You know, SR Monkey and Langdon definitely know. They've seen a few onions. They know what they look like. And definitely make sure you check that podcast out. But the patron saint that is SR Monkey has kindly donated for the stream today. So we're giving away these two cards to somebody in the live chat today joining us. We'll give one away. We'll give one away on the YouTube live chat, Harry. And we're also live on Twitter. Okay, now, we've been live on Twitter a few times, right? But I'm not really too sure how to engage with it and all the rest of it, right? So we've got two cards. Let me just check it is on Twitter. Yeah, it is actually on Twitter. So let me share the tab, right? So if you're watching this on YouTube, brilliant. If you're watching this on Twitter, it'll look something like this. This little thing here. If you're going to interact with us here, like, retweet, comment, okay? And I'll be pulling somebody who does all those things out to win one of these cards, okay? And we'll see if this should be on Twitter, or if this is just a waste of time, kinda, right? So if you are watching this on Twitter, then get involved. We'll give a card away over there. But SR Monkey has donated two beautiful cards. David Turnbull, flavour of the month in Glasgow at the moment, limited card. I think how can you drop a guy after he scores 2 goals, drops an 80-pointer? Feels like he's going to be on for the weekend. That'll be given away at 2 o'clock. You can get that in before the deadline. And also, he's given away one of my tips for under 23 midfielder of the season elect, Ivan Illich. So 2 really good cards that you could lock in before the deadline. Serie A isn't back until next week. So Illich, you can put him into training, get some XP, you can meet the rest of your cards, start to build up some chemistry before we get them locked and loaded into the game week. So plenty of stuff if you're joining us live. If you're watching this after we've been live, huge fist bump to you. Please do like the video and drop a comment with a little timestamp of maybe something that helps you before the deadline, or something you've enjoyed in the stream today. Harry Trades on YouTube as well, at Harry Trades YT, everywhere else across the world, the Twitter sphere. Talent podcast was out this week as well. Be sure to check that out. But yeah, guys, I think that is pretty much all the housekeeping. We've got Sorare scouts and managers from all over the world joining us. If you do enjoy the content here today, at any point in the stream, if you laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like the stream. We're at 20 the now. We can get to 100. That's always a good number. It makes us feel good. And it means, as you guys know, Sorare own and control the internet. So when you like the stream, they know that. So if you get into the prize pool, you tend to get better rewards. That's my experience, Harry. So do yourself a favour. Help us out. Help yourself out. Drop a like. Harry boy, where to start? Has to be matchups tab.
Take a breather. Take a breather for 10 seconds. I think you deserve it. That was an incredible,
opening salvo.
A couple of minutes from yourself there. I think you probably ended on like a little 20 AA after that. No decisive yet, but we're early, mate. We're very early into the stream.
Very early.
Yeah, mate. No, matchups tabs is kind of where we'll probably kick things off, I guess, as usual. And I mean, it makes for fun viewing this weekend because, man, we've just got so many new leagues back, which, is a good thing and a detriment as well, because the quality of lineups are just going to improve, week after week now. And your gallery quality lineup abilities, I guess, improve as well, as long as you have, decent cards. So it's an interesting one, catch-22 in a way, but yeah, man, I'm just excited to sort of review and go over some of these matchups. I mean, do we go to Peru first, Quinny? Is that something that you think that the people want?
Well, I've put the team up.
They might. I mean, we'll put it up because they are licensed, aren't they? And we can't ignore the best matchup of the weekend type of thing, because this is just the only note I would put on this is just watch out for these in gas, basically, is what I'd be worried about. I wouldn't be, what I'm saying? I can't see many people playing their stacks of Universitario in America, to be completely honest. If it's as good of a matchup as it looks on paper, you've got to be putting these quote unquote cheat codes in gas, I guess, right?
Look at that goalkeeper score. It's top versus 15th in the bottom end of that league. You've got to imagine they're horrible, Harry. With the greatest respect, you probably walk into a lot of those teams yourself, mate.
No
so forward score of 27. As well.
Yeah, that's frightening. That's one of the biggest I've ever seen, honestly, from a legit matchup that's not messed up, if that makes sense. Because sometimes it goes a bit squiffed, doesn't it? The matchup indicators and stuff, just because there's no data and whatever. But yeah, 84% win percentage, 64% clean sheets is massive. But yeah, next down on our list is Feyenoord, who are obviously massively successful last year, strengthened. I've lost a few key players, but I did that podcast, like you mentioned, yesterday with Feder, which is out today. And yeah, I fancy them for the Eredivisie again, to be honest, mate, with how, how Ajax look. PSV do look stronger, but Feyenoord look really, really complete right now. If we look at their sort of starting 11, Gertrude doesn't look like he's leaving, which is a sort of a big plus for them.
I've got a little delay on Play Sharper, sorry.
No, you're fine. I can get it up on mine if you want. Let me get.
Yeah.
I can throw the old Play Sharper up on my screen. Oh yeah, it's not really working for me either. I guess Play Sharper always decides to have a bit of a fit, doesn't it? When we're streaming, I know it's close to the deadline and stuff, so there's obviously a lot of traffic. But Ricky says he's having issues as well. Not ideal. But at home to Fortuna, I know we can't see the starting 11 right now, but it's going to be pretty settled. Jimenez up front, Paxiao. I think Jahan Bash was in to start. Calvin Stengs has just recently moved there. You've got Zaruki and Wiffer at the base of the midfield. And then, Gertruda, Hartmann, Hanko. And then I don't know who the other one is. The other Trona, maybe, if he's back. I don't think he is, though. And then obviously
You can check the data the data lineups. How do we open that page?
We could, yeah. How do we open that page? Could go impact players, managers.
I normally kind of go into it through lineup builder, and then you click into it.
Yeah, I mean, we can kind of get through it that way.
Is it a way? Is it a?
There is a way, because I have Timber, so I can kind of show. I can get
predicted lineups.
If that makes sense.
Oh, I've got a predicted lineup tab here open. All games.
Get into that then if you want.
Yeah. There's not that many.
I don't know how you get there. How? Oh yeah, projected lineups. I'm here. I'm on it, I think. But I need it for the new.
You get the matchups tab back. Back.
I'm back.
So what we after?
We need Eredivisie. Ooh, Quinny, there's been an update.
Ooh, what's the update?
Not by Sorare. Arsenal are now the best matchup on the matchups tab.
Oh, really?
For some reason. Yeah, I mean, I've just refreshed, and apparently Arsenal are top.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll go back to them. But yeah, Feyenoord, like you said, is on the screen now. Heavy favourites. Yeah, I think, Hacknell, Gertruda, Pedersen, sorry, was the one I missed. Trauner's not back yet. But, no, it's a really good team. It's really exciting. They've got a lot of strength in attack now. They've just signed Ueda from Circle Bruges, which is a big one. I don't know how he really fits into this with Jimenez up front, but I'm sure he can have an impact off the bench. Apparently, Play Sharp is working again, Morris says, just to let you know, Quinny.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, it is the best, the best sort of challenger matchup on paper. And, I mean, you got big Ivor Pandor in goals, your boy. Yeah, let's hope he doesn't concede 3 or more, but I have a funny feeling he might this weekend if Feyenoord, at the races, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, yeah, okay, we're back.
Arsenal are top now.
Yeah, Arsenal are top. I don't know what's happened in the last minute.
Someone said in the live chat that the Penfez has got a Universitario stack, and I'm sure I heard him mention it on. He's been on a few podcasts this week. I'm sure I heard him mention it somewhere. So he'll be pretty buzzing this weekend. Arsenal and Universitario at home. Top matchups tab.
Gotta be a little hybrid stack there for Gas, hasn't it? Surely.
Defense and attack.
Well, I don't know. You could, defense and attack, or you go all Arsenal maybe. Channy's just joined us. SO5 is finally back, and he's gassed. I think Channy's missed out on like 20. I think I've read like 20 game weeks he hasn't put a lineup in, or like a competitive lineup. So good to have you back, Channy, and just great to have all these really good lineups back. But yeah, Arsenal are top. So if we want to go over to Play Sharper for Arsenal, got to watch them play against Man City. What do you say? It's not working?
No, it's not loading again.
Is it not? We could go into
go back. I'll go back to the go back to data. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Nep got a Quinto. I thought, people are saying in the chat, he's got an LDU. Remember the unique I had? Little Sebastian Gonzalez. He played for the team that Nep, or does play for the team that Nep has got the stack of, if that makes sense. Team not Peruvian, apparently, is what everyone's saying in the chat, and I do think they're correct. But anyway, Arsenal. I mean, is there a better home fixture? Maybe Luton at home that could really top this for Arsenal? Just come off the back of winning that Community Shield, which is obviously a bit of a Mickey Mouse trophy, but nonetheless, they ended up winning it I watched the game. I thought Man City probably dominated it, even though Arsenal had some good chances. I'm still not having Havertz up front. You just can't convince me that he's a number 9. I know Jesus is out right now, so he's sort of filling gaps. But I think it's a great matchup. 12:30 tomorrow, obviously, so early kickoff against a Forest side who obviously stayed up last year. Matt Turner in goals now, which is just crazy. Willy Bowley, Joe Worrell, McKenna. I mean, I can't see anything other than like an Arsenal romp in here, and no Nep's going to be buzzing to hear that. I know that's not rocket science to work out, but I feel like Arsenal players are going to really do well. AA wise, Timbers looking to start at left back. I think was Zinchenko out, settled midfield 3, and then obviously Saka, Martinelli, and Havertz. We'll see if Havertz can score a few goals tomorrow. If he can't score any tomorrow, Quinny, then he got no hope of it.
No, I think this should be a pretty good game for Arsenal. I think the main surprise is that Havertz is up front. So when they signed him, I thought he goes into a midfield alongside Rice and Odegaard. So, but I think
he would have if Jesus wasn't injured, basically.
Well, would he? I don't know, because playing
I
Partey
don't know
next
if
to
he'll
Rice.
start, but I don't know. I think if Jesus is fit, Jesus plays, and Havertz probably doesn't play this game unless they drop Partey, play Rice at DM, and then have Odegaard and Havertz as like an 8 and a 10 situation. Because you could do that at home to Forest. You know, you can afford to only go with one sort of defensive midfielder in that sense. I know Rice can play anywhere in the midfield, but you get what I'm saying. You could play Havertz in that 3 against Forest at home. Whether he would or not, you know, it's hard to tell because Jesus isn't fit.
Forest beat Arsenal last time they played, by the way. Big Morgan Gibbs-White, your man, leading the line up top. Brennan Johnson, you know, 3-4-3 is how they look to shape up. They're not going to be shy and going for it. You know, will it be Ramsdale? Will it be Raya? It's maybe a question going forward. Will this be a game that is maybe a wee bit of egg on the face, perhaps? Could go that way.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Glenn Hoddle says Luton and Sheff are a far better fixture. Of course they are. But, you know, of the teams that stayed up, you'd probably take Forest, wouldn't you, at home?
Yeah.
Realistically. Great fixture for them. Early kickoff, though, so you never know that. I know we say there's a Friday curse, but there might be an early morning or early sort of afternoon, I guess, curse for the Gunners. But hopefully not. I can't see that personally. And I'm playing my Jurian Timber this weekend. I'm buzzing to set him into a lineup with a good matchup. So I'm hoping he can break up some really good AA scores.
Here's a great question. Who do you think will get more points this game week? Saka or Salah?
Gun to my head is Saka, surely. Set pieces, easier fixture. Salah's playing against, ex-club. There might be something in that. Obviously playing Chelsea, but it's got to be Saka. Has to be. Yeah,
I'd probably go along with that as well. I think Rice is a great shout to have a good game in this one. Probably not good for common mode. I don't think he's in it. Because he'll be in the West Ham kit. So, but if you've actually got a card limited or something, Rice could be a baller. This could be a game where he just picks up incredible AA, gets one decisive, and he walks out with an 80 or 90 kind of thing, because he'll do a lot of the passing as well as a couple of interceptions and tackles and that kind of thing. So double, and, you know, a bit of a forward presence out of him in this kind of shape. I think Rice could be a good pick.
100%. But moving on to Portugal, we've got, there's always a Portuguese team in the top 10, isn't it, on the matchups tab, Quinny? And unfortunately, Sporting not unfortunately, but, you know, Sporting are at the top of it this week. Opening game of the season, I believe. I don't know what day they play on, but they're playing Vizela at home. Heavy favourites. I've not really followed too much of Sporting sort of ins and outs this sort of, well, apart from the striker, I guess, from Coventry. Other than him, I don't think they've really done too much else, right? As far as business goes?
Nah, it's been quite quiet on the Portuguese front, you know, apart from Benfica. You know, it feels like all the business has been to Benfica. It doesn't feel like Sporting or Porto. I know Porto have picked up a Varela and maybe a striker or something, but, you know, it doesn't feel like too much is going on there. But that front three, Gyökeres, if that's how you say it, Trincao and Edwards, they could all be double decisive. All of them could be double decisive.
And Pote as well. In the midfield, obviously, on sets probably. This is a frightening team, I'll be honest. It's looking really good for SO5. Feder mentioned on the podcast yesterday, he's actually traded in his Benfica stack for a Sporting stack. So, maybe people are, you know, going over there, maybe less risk in that sense. But this guy Gyökeres looks a bit of a beast, doesn't he? From what he did at Cov, and he's done well in pre-season as well. So I think this Sporting side could really challenge actually this year.
Yeah, big time. Could be very, very handy in domestic football, and depending on what goes on for them in midweeks, like we've used to see Sporting try and be like resolute defensively, but, you know, they've always had good attacking scores. But like I say, that full front three now is really dangerous. Like, I was always put off with Sporting stacks like a couple of years ago because like the main striker was like Nuno Santos and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It was just like, I can't get behind that. And then when some of the good players have came on before, they've been really inflated. And, you know, Feder's made that move. I suppose the market maybe wouldn't suggest that. So sounds like a great move Feder's made. And this is a beastly fixture to have them for. If he's ran them, and if anyone out there has got any of these Sporting players, Inacio, AAA rated, you know, great game for a lot of big players.
100%. So, challenge is going to be full of Sporting, half stacks, full stacks, whatever single players. You know, there's going to be loads of Pedro Goncalves captains, I'm sure, in Gas and Challenger. But next up is another Challenger team in Ajax against a team that have just been promoted, I believe. Right, Hercules won in the Eredivisie First Division last year. I'm sure they were the year before, got relegated, because I remember Rai Vlut, the one who went to Russia, he was playing for them, and I had his card when I first joined the platform. But yeah, man, Ajax. Where do we start with Ajax? I mean,
it's a whole
if you look
change,
at that
isn't
starting
it?
11, it's so different, isn't it, from like what we saw for the majority of last season? Like, you know, there's some young, like that Hato, I think, is like 17. They've got some really young kids. Well, him, I don't know much about this Tyrovic, Benjamin Tyrovic, whatever you pronounce it. I know Josh Forth was sort of raving about him to me. Obviously, no cards, so it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, man, this doesn't look like an Ajax team, does it? I know there's still 4 or 5, I guess, normal players, but the rest it just looks weird. Seeing so many like players with no cards and stuff.
I can't imagine Kudus starting this game, just as a wee side note, because it feels like he's leaving, you know, so I don't know why he'll be playing this game. But yeah, Heracles, I'm sure, did go down to the Jupiler, wherever that league is, that's below the Eredivisie. Medic from St. Pauli looks to come in and play. You know, the left back, I don't know. Wrench has been second choice, third choice right back there since they've had cards, so he's now number 1. So it just kind of tells you the state of the depth they've got to. Big Van de Boomen, but is meant to be a bit of, there's a lot of high expectation around his card this season.
He is a good player.
And yeah, it's just wholesale change. I don't think we could expect the same dominance. Feels like really has got one foot out the door as well. So like it just feels like, it's maybe not quite as imperious, but playing a newly promoted side, it does feel like the matchups tab is probably those ratings. I don't understand that at all. But like,
well, that's because they wouldn't have stats, would they, from last year, I believe. So that I mentioned earlier, like I think that's a brilliant example of it, basically. So maybe this Ajax fixture isn't actually as good as it's showing right now. Maybe it is. I don't know. But that Carlos Borges, who've just signed from Man City. Obviously, I know people are saying in the chat now that Kudus apparently is starting. Apparently, the manager have said he is, so that's interesting. But that Borges looks like an absolute baller from Man City. He smashed it last year in the Premier League too. So they paid big money for him. I think it was like 17 million. Man City have a buyback clause. But yeah, he looks great. If and when he gets cards, definitely look out for him. But interesting matchup for Ajax. We'll see how that sort of makeshift team performs.
I think the big thing about that Ajax thing is that you're not going to come across many of them in the leaderboard. There's the main benefit of that team, really, isn't it?
Especially not stack wise. No, you're not going to be worried about Ajax stacks right now. That's not something that's kind of formed, is it? They're supposed to be signing Sotalo. There is additions to be made, I guess, in that Ajax team. So it's probably a forever ever changing starting 11 and stacking on Sorare. It'll just become easier to do with Ajax over the course of the season, I imagine. So yeah, interesting one. But like we said, Antwerp up next at home again.
Goalkeeper 12 is quite eye-catching.
Yeah, it's interesting, that is. Home, they actually play this evening, Quinny, to be fair. So they could be subject to Friday curse.
Along with Man City.
Along with Man City versus Burnley. But yeah, Antwerp lost their last game 1-0, I believe. I think Alderweireld gave away a penalty. I don't know who they played, but they were away from home, I believe, last week. I am a Gaston Avia owner, so I'm hoping he starts this tonight, because he's been suspended for the last 2 games, and they've lost a game in the last 2, and I don't know what they did in the first game. They might have won, actually, but regardless, decent matchup. I mean, they haven't really scored enough goals so far for me, Antwerp, to really understand, who's their sort of decisive kings. In that sense, but Baliguish is in the fold. Who have they got up front right now? I'm trying to think.
Janssen. It would be this formation. That's why I changed to Play Sharper early. The formations are a wee bit off on Sorare data, but Play Sharper still going really slow. But yeah, Kellenkamp's a centre mid. Baliguish is more of a striker. Vincent Janssen's a target man. So it's a wee bit off. But
Kellenkamp hasn't started yet, though. I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why he's 95%, but he hasn't started a game so far. He's been injured, so he's coming back into the fold. player I do rate, actually. He's a good player. But yeah, again, another decent challenger matchup. I don't think we're going to see like 5 Antwerp cards in a stack that's going to go win the division this sort of weekend. I could be wrong. I don't think it's like a romping fixture, but it is a good enough fixture to where there's pieces of that team that you could definitely use. Do you want to skip the Chinese Super League, Quinny?
Yeah, because feels right, doesn't it?
Feels right. Benfica away to Boa Vista. Benfica did play in that Super Cup against Porto, which they won 2-0. I think that was Wednesday night. Di Maria scored. Can't remember who scored the second. Might have been Musa. But yeah, they beat Porto 2-0 in the Super Cup. I think this was the exact team that started, I believe. No, maybe the left back's the only change. The left back didn't. That Jurassic, who's actually really good, under 23, he didn't start. It was, I think it was Ristic who started. But yeah, I don't know enough about Boa Vista to know how good / bad they are, but I can't imagine they're that good compared to Benfica, odds wise, like away from home, Benfica is still 1-3 basically, in the odds. So massive favorites. You're gonna see Benfica stacks. I can just tell you that for a fact. Whether that's defensive, attacking, or 5 card stack, whatever it is. There's some big SO5 players here: Kochu, Di Maria, Rafa, Silva, Otamendi. Bar's a really interesting one as well. People like to stack Alexander Bar with Odysseus, and there's just some big pieces here, really big for SO5.
Yeah, can't wait to see Trubin in there over Odysseus. That would just make it all the better, for sure. But there's a beast of spine there. If you look at Otamendi, Kochu, Di Maria, and then one of the strikers, that's a 5, isn't it? Like they could kill.
And are they signing? They were going to sign Lucas Beltran from River, but they didn't. I swear they signed a forward to replace
Cabral.
Arthur Cabral. They have, So Cabral's to come into that side as well when he gets minted. So, there is a serious Benfica stack probably to still be had and to perform well this season, definitely.
Cabral has cards from Fiorentina.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And somebody was saying to me, I can't remember if it was on a video or not, but somebody was saying to me, he won't be that. Why are they doing signing a guy like him? But see, if you look at him when he was last in Challenger, he played in Switzerland or something, Mince. But
for Basel, wasn't it?
In Challenger, he's fine. Champion, he's okay, isn't he? He wasn't bad.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. There's just no peaks if you have a look. The hundreds came probably at Basel, I imagine. But don't get me wrong. Is playing for Basel in the Swiss league is easier than playing for Benfica in the Portuguese league? I don't know. It's probably a good comparison, actually. That'll be a really interesting stack. But next up, Quinny, a team that you're sort of quite fond of, or pieces of it, is Atletico Madrid at home to Granada. Granada got promoted, right?
Yeah. So Sam Ty's second team, actually.
That's what I said. I was like, that's his team.
I only just realised that there when you said it. But yeah, so actually, in the little press conference video I put out, I said, I'm going full stack on Atleti. And I don't know, I need to watch a wee bit closer to the deadline because I thought Riquelme was on, it really sounded like Riquelme was going to start right wing back here. I don't see Llorente not starting, but if Riquelme doesn't play, then it makes stacking it less of an idea for me. And I've kind of changed what I'll be doing with it. But this at home to Granada is a beautiful fixture for Athletic. It's one of those fixtures where it doesn't matter where it happens in the calendar. You're looking at maybe a 2 or 3-0 win on paper. That's what you would forecast for something like this. Clean sheet, couple of goals, and depending on the players. Again, I fancy Depay to start. I don't know why he's at 40% for this. I think he's been integrated pretty well into the team. I know Morata has been very well fancied by Simeone. He's just had an extension, I think, or that's him now saying again for the 4th time this summer, I'm staying at Atleti, and everyone's going for it. But I still think Depay will start. I do think Riquelme will start, but the little sources that I listened to on Twitter said Llorente played right wing back in training yesterday, so that worries me. And Soyuncu isn't actually registered yet, technically, so I think it maybe hinges on a bit of that because if Soyuncu isn't registered, then because they've got Llorente, so maybe some other things move. So want to pay attention to that. But I think this could be a great game and one of the few occasions where maybe a stack in Atleti is halfway worth it.
100%. Especially, someone who's at, where's the exits? Clean sheet for Oblak. I mean, 51% clean sheet probabilities, good numbers. Gun to my head, they probably do get the clean sheet there. I don't know how many they score, but I do think they'll get the clean sheet. But they've got some firepower though now. Depay, Griezmann, if Morata's firing, big if. They've got some players there. Like Feder thinks they'll win the league, which I think is a big shout. But I can see the logic in it. I can in a weird way. He thinks it's Simeone's sort of season again.
I do too.
With like Real maybe in transition or whatever. But interesting matchup and definitely one to look out for in Champion Europe for sure. Was that our first Champion Europe, barring Arsenal? That was our first Champion Europe. Matchup. We'll skip past the Independiente for now.
Play sharp or slick again.
No, I was back. Okay, PSG at home to Lorient. Mate, I was speaking to obviously Fede yesterday, I know I keep mentioning him, but we spoke about PSG and I mean the team is just compare that team to last season. I know most of it's back four, whatever is very similar apart from Hernandez and Skriniar actually, so it's not even that similar. It's chalk and cheese. I know there's some really exciting players in there, and don't get me wrong, I love the look of there's a lot of under 23 boys in there, and it's great. But how different is that team?
It's a firm level down, isn't it? Maybe Benfica are better on paper, kind of almost, maybe Benfica isn't the example, but there's teams out there now that in real world are probably better than PSG now. There's a few, maybe PSV, maybe Feyenoord last year, Ajax last year, something like that. I don't know. There's been a lot of transfers, but that is 100% let downgrade. I do think a lot of these guys, Zaire Emery's been getting a lot of plaudits in pre-season, and he's given me Musiala vibes, if you know what I mean, in terms of that talent and that level and all that. You know what I mean? So
very good shout.
He could be a big breakout this year. And then you've got Vitinha, you've got Fabian Ruiz, Soler's in this team. Renato Sanchez has just left. Kang-In Lee. Soler's been playing on the wing a bit. Goncalo Ramos has just come in. Ekitike is leaving. I think there's another striker inbound as well that I've seen. And Asensio's been playing a lot as well. I think they're really good. They might actually... I dropped a video on my channel a few days ago saying PSG might actually be better now, kind of, because...
In a weird way, yeah. Better manager, maybe. Better philosophy and Enrique. No, I get it. It's just when I'm not seeing Mbappe, Neymar, Messi up front, it is just hard to... I know their names, so they still have to produce, and they did produce, for the most part. But I don't know, it's just weird. It's just really weird seeing Lee Kang-In, Goncalo Ramos, and Asensio as the front three of PSG. But I love Lee.
Definitely not scared of them anymore on the leaderboard. You're not looking at a PSG fixture now and going, "Oh crap!"
Right now.
Yeah,
not right now. I mean, the 23s might become a problem if Lee Kang-In starts, firing Zaire Emery, Goncalo Ramos. There is stacking capabilities now with PSG. Maybe not so much in Champion Europe. You could probably forget that. Maybe defensively, but I don't know if you would want to really trust that with Donnarumma in goals, even though he's a great goalie, whatever, but does seem to concede a lot of goals. Interesting. I'm just really interested to see how PSG sort of plan out this season. What happens with Mbappe, sort of who knows. Next up, we've got Fenerbahce, who've already been playing quite a few fixtures this season with European qualifiers and stuff. So we've kind of been able to see, your Tadic is in action already. And it doesn't look like much rotation. I think they played last night then. I'm guessing. Yeah, they must have played last night. I think Tadic scored a penalty. Slamansky came off the bench, got a couple of assists. Ryan Kent plays for Fenerbahce now. Wow. I think he's a good player. I know you're not going to probably agree with that, but I think he's a decent player. Dzeko, I didn't know Dzeko moved there. I'll be completely honest.
Aye, Dzeko's meant to win the belt over there.
It's an interesting team, man. There's some big names there. Dzeko, Tadic.
I personally do think Carlos Soler will play for PSG. Where's the exit? I think it'll be Soler over Kang-In personally, but
okay,
I know?
I can see that.
Sorry, just had to throw that out there.
No. Haven't they? I feel like Fenerbahce are linked with everyone. I know it's Galatasaray as well. Galatasaray and Fenerbahce seem to just be buying everyone this summer. It feels like anyway. But I can only see Tadic, Kent, and Slamansky there as new additions. Maybe that Rodrigo Becao.
Becao's a new one.
Got you. Home fixture. First game of the season. Massive favourites, less than 1-2. Ugo says Fenerbahce team is working well for him at the moment, which I'm imagine. Yeah, I can't imagine it wouldn't be with all those midweeks. So great fixture. I don't know enough about the away team, but I probably, you can probably bet your house on it that's a good fixture for Fenerbahce, right?
Yeah, I think so. And a lot of people were going into Turkey this year in the off season for that Challenger All-Star play, because we know how good the Turkish calendar is throughout the course of the season. And Fenerbahce are one of those big three teams. So again, we've had maybe 3 or 4 like proper plum fixtures. It doesn't matter when it would be in the calendar. Like this team, I think are quite new to the division. They didn't have a predicted lineup there. And again, like first game of the season, all those older players like Dzeko and Tadic, their legs are fairly, they're fresh, so you're not worried about rotation and fatigue, and so it should be a really good game for those cards. I'm quite surprised to see how high Man United are up on this.
Yeah, no, same. To be fair, man, they're less than 1-2, which is crazy in the bookies. I think. I mean. The only difference in that team from last year, right there, is Mount, right? Oh, Nana. Okay, fair enough. Oh, Nana and Mount. Against a Wolves side, they've just lost their manager, mind. So they are probably in turmoil, if we're being honest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Rasko says Wolves are pretty fucked at him. Yeah, I think that's probably where those odds are stemming from, I imagine. Don't take anything away from United, but I don't know if this is just a normal Wolves side. I don't think they'd be that heavy favourites, but I could be completely pricing it wrong. But no, I'm interested to see how Mount gets on. I really am. I've always rated him as a player and stuff. He's obviously out of the under-23s now, so he's not somebody that I'll be looking to like pick up in that sense. I'm just interested to see how he fits into the United sort of team. Alongside Bruno, he's got some really interesting players there. And for SO5, I'm also quite interested to see how Onana, is there an Onana, Lisandro Martinez stack, Bruno, like again, this could become like an interesting Champion Europe stack, like full stack. Why not?
Big time. I think Mason Mount L15 or 24 is a bit cheat code for this game week in particular, 100%. And personally, I've not paid attention to Man United starting 11s throughout pre-season, but I've got to think that Garnacho is favoured over Sancho in a coin toss situation.
Sancho's been really good, Quinny.
Oh, has he?
Like in pre-season, yeah, he scored against Arsenal. He's done well. I'm not saying Garnacho hasn't done well, but Sancho is looking sharp. I'll be completely honest, and that's not something I've been able to say with conviction over the last sort of year and a half. Anyone can obviously see that he's probably carrying too much and just didn't look interested in it for whatever way. But honestly, mate, he looks actually really sharp right now. I'm actually quite excited to see how he how he gets on. But yeah, this Wolves team, I mean. It's a decent team. It's a decent Premier League team. Is it got enough to go trouble this United side? Maybe. Pedro Neto, Cunha, Sarabia, Mateus Nunes. It's a decent team. João Gomez, Lamina. Like, it's a solid Premier League team. Not solid, but it's good enough. Does it stay up? I'd be interested to know. I don't know if they have the depth, maybe. If Neto gets injured again, Cunha, I'd worry if a couple of those pieces move, but... or move or get injured, whatever. But yeah, no, I can't see anything other than a United win. But do I fancy a clean sheet? Honestly, I don't. I really don't.
This team looks like it would finish like 6th in La Liga or something. If you know what I mean. If you just look at it, it just looks like a wee like Valencia team or something, or something like that. Just decent, a bunch of decent guys, not real any heavy hitters, no real weak links. It's just all a bit. Yeah, they're all right, and then can they actually beat some teams? Let's see. Maybe first game away at Old Trafford, Lopetegui out, Gary O'Neill in. Maybe a wee bit sucker punch element might go on in this one. So I'm quite surprised to see how high up Man United are. But at home, Old Trafford, opening game of the season, how can you not think Man United will go on and have a great performance? So, yeah, I think Mount L15 at 24 bot is probably the play of that match, isn't it?
100%.
Cap 220.
As far as value for money. Next up is one of those, again, dodgy fixtures in the sense that I don't know if it's actually as good as what it is, if that makes sense, according to the the matchups tab. But it is, well, I mean, you can look at the betting odds. It's still a good fixture. Brighton, man. There's just been this sort of Caicedo situation has just been crazy, hasn't it? Yeah, I mean, a load of 50%ers in there, which is not ideal as far as, and 60%ers, as far as, trying to pick the Brighton team. Obviously, the Jason Steele for Bruggen, I don't know if it's a toying cost, but it's definitely, I'd say, Steele's to lose for now as far as number one spot. But yeah, against this Luton side, man. How are Luton in the Premier League, Quinny?
I think they're going to get trashed, mate. I think they're going to be like blackpooled,
Yeah.
personally.
It feels that way. They've bought a couple of players, but nobody to where you're like, oh, hang on a minute, these could have half a chance. I mean, yeah, Taith Chong and Marvelous Nakamba. I mean, yeah, Kaminsky's actually gone there from Blackburn. Yeah, I mean, it's not like so. Tom Lockyer, their centre half, actually their captain, he like went to a school like a couple of minutes down the road from me, and now he's a Premier League player. But like never really started for Wales or anything. Like he's played for Wales, but it's just crazy how like he's in the Premier League right now. It's just nuts. It's mental. Yeah, absolutely mental. Playing for Luton, but you just never know. You never know. Blackpool had some good results in the Premier League. So they beat some of those big guns. I remember in that year that they went up.
There's definitely some stacks in this team, but because if Brighton do get a good performance in this game, they're AA monsters. Some of these players, the way they play football and the way they attack goal. So yeah, like Estupiñán was very good last season, wasn't he, in the cap modes and that kind of thing. So it could be a decent game for like that differential, stack, from a Brighton POV. If you've got a Dunk and a Gross and a Gilmore, and then João Pedro's a really exciting signing. As well, so I quite like that. Brighton, and then boo.
The boys.
They're not the boys. They'd actually be pretty upset to hear you say that, Harry.
Babies.
The babies, the cry babies. So I've got Butland and goals. I actually watched Rangers in the Champions League qualifier against Servette on Wednesday night or whatever it was, and they were thoroughly rotten. I don't mind telling you, like really? Lammers and Dessers. Subpar. Danilo looked handy. Raskin, Cantwell, whatever. Defense was kind of whatever as well, really. But nobody in that team can take a man on. Everyone, as soon as they got confronted with somebody, they were just wanting to pass the ball every time. Nobody could beat a man until Big Cifuentes came on, and he was just a monster. He was just like taking the ball off people. And he was just running and just bouncing people off him because nobody else was running with the ball. You could see he was looking around like, why is nobody trying to play football right now? And that's kind of, not to be biased, but it's kind of the Rangers' way at the moment for the last couple of years under like Gerrard and Beale and whatever. Livingston are capable of a sucker punch, but this is a good game for Rangers being at Ibrox. The kind of joke in Scotland is that the Livingston manager is a Rangers fan and that kind of stuff, if you get me. There's a few ex-Rangers players in this team even. I don't think Livy are always capable of a sucker punch against any of the Glasgow teams. I'm not discrediting them when I say that, just giving you a wee bit of flavour into the game there. But like, it should be a Rangers win, but I wouldn't rule out because they lost to Kelly last week and they only just beat 10-man Servette 2-1. Both teams had a penalty. Dessers scored a goal off his knee that he did nothing to earn, if you get me. Like, so he's leaving that game thinking he scored a goal and acting like it and that, but he didn't do anything for the goal, if you get me. We got a comment here saying Beale has said that Cifuentes will start. I don't know where he'll start or who he'll start ahead of. I don't think you can drop Raskin out of this team or Cantwell. To be honest with you, I think the midfield three needs to be Cifuentes, Raskin and Cantwell, like if they're taking themselves seriously. But that's not here on Play Sharper, so I don't know what to make of that. Russ is maybe closer to it than me. But yeah, I think Cifuentes will be a AA monster in Scotland. Like, he will be 70 plus every week. Like, he'll win duels for fun in this league, no problem at all. And Rangers will win more games than they lose easily. They'll finish second, quite comfortably, so that's not bad for SO5. But yeah, that's all I can say on that.
And they have a couple pieces now, obviously, where in previous seasons they didn't really have anyone that had cards realistically, but it seems like they're filling out their sort of cards, if that makes sense.
I would watch out for them getting licensed, by the way, as well, because they were stopped before because they were tied into a deal with a company that's gone. So maybe this year, maybe ducks have been settled, ducks have been put in a row, and maybe we get Rangers cards this year. I would just say, if you've been waiting for them, maybe they'll come. I don't know anything. I'm just thinking out loud.
Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense. AZ next, who played last night against Santa Colmo.
Yeah.
And yeah, struggled to beat them from what I could understand. A couple of boys on Discord weren't really happy with the performances, SO5 wise and whatever. I think they ended up winning the game, but yeah, I mean, it was sort of interesting to see because funny story that Santa Como beat my ex team to get to this round, which was just
really
crazy to yeah.
Cool.
But they beat a Welsh team, Pen y Bont, in the round before the last one, if that makes sense. But they didn't even. First game was 1-1, and the second game was, I think they scored an extra time. It was 0-0, and then they scored an extra time, that's a semi-professional team. And then you've got AZ just about beating them, which is just crazy to think about. But
Dundee United beat AZ last year.
Yeah, they did, and then lost like 10-1.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did beat them, to be fair, first game, didn't they? No, I mean, it's a pretty similar team to last year. They still haven't lost Carlson's. Carlson's still there, which is just crazy to me. They've obviously lost Reinders, which is big. But, you know, Mynand, DeWitt, Classy, there's still good midfielders there. You know, they're not as good as Tijani, but there's some good players there still. Shigawara is still there. Yeah, I'm not really seeing Pavlidis, Odegaard. They're still, the boys are still all there. Like, I don't think we're going to see much of a decrease in SO5 output from AZ as a team because they are a good SO5 team, you know, objectively. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they keep Carlson. And, yeah, home to go ahead Eagles for first game. Probably a nice fixture to have after, you know, playing in Europe.
And seeing Bazor sitting in there in centre-back, he could be a wee bit cheat codey. I think he's got midfielder cards predominantly. So if he's going to be that deep line, ball-playing centre-back type guy, with it being a midfielder card, maybe, you know, there's different pros and cons with it. But the pro I always think about is you don't need to worry about losing the clean sheet with that guy as much. You know what I mean? It doesn't really impact him that heavily. So, yeah, kind of maybe look into that one a bit more, but I find that quite eye-catching. Sven Mignans, along with Carlson's, get really high opinion across all this stuff, and it could be a big season for him. Maybe not replacing Reinders in some respects, but maybe in others, you know, perhaps. So,
yeah, definitely helping. Yeah, no, it'd be interesting to see how AZ play out. They have some other good players. Van Brederode, who's I'm guessing he's injured right now, left winger, really, really good player. Yep. Obviously Carlson as well. So yeah, no, it's interesting time for AZ. Next up, we've got Hajduk Split. I have a couple of Croatian players, but nobody from Split per se. But I know the team they're playing are like, actually, is this Slaven really bad? There's a couple like horrendously bad teams. Okay, so they've signed a couple. Yeah, like the Offo guy from he was for Ghent, wasn't he? Or Ghent, one of the two. Lavaja up front. They've got some boys I know. Ferro, obviously, you know. Or you know as well, I guess. Yeah. Portuguese fella, isn't it? I mean, they're massive favourites. Nearly 1-3, or just over 1-3 at home.
I like the look of that team, by the way. I really like the look of what they've put together. Krovanovic, Odijo Ofoe. Like, see, the only reason when I started playing Sorare, I kind of heard about this guy already. Some people out there listening might remember this as well. But this guy, 1 year, like, I'm going to say like 2014 or something mad like that. He got this pure insane like player of the year card on FIFA because he was like Polish player of the year or something like that. Like played for somebody in Poland, and he had like a 99 card, and he was like a Belgian national, and he mixed with De Bruyne and stuff, you know. And so seeing him going to Croatia, I was just checking his age and stuff. He's 33, like. And, you know, the Polish league is quite a low level of European football, certainly. Croatia, I know we love it on Sorare and that, right? But in real world football terms, so we probably still a bit above the Polish league, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely a peg down from Belgium, both those divisions, you know, a full peg down. So maybe he goes up a gear. If you look at his peak scores, maybe we get a few more of them. I really like the look of that. Ferro, as you mentioned, we know can be a boss, and Lavaja can be a boss also. So, like, this Hajduk Split team, I know the goalkeeper thing is a bit question mark here. Somebody injured or something's happening. I don't think this guy is nailed on, or maybe is nailed on, I forget. But like, that's a real spine of a team that, you know, I think you could be excited by. So yeah, Hajduk Split, really strong fixture this weekend. And yeah, good to see a Odijo Ofoe there.
Yeah, another challenger stack / team / players to worry about this weekend. Next up is tonight's fixture.
The treble winners. The treble winners.
They're back in action. Yeah, be disappointing to obviously lose that, you know, Community Shield, but yeah, they've got a chance now to go and win a back-to-back one. Is it back-to-back Premier League? Or maybe even...
It would be 3 in a row.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously Kovacic comes into this side. They've lost, Gundogan, who I think is a massive loss. I'm not saying Kovacic can't really do the things that Gundogan can. I don't think he's as clutch as far as the amount of moments Gundogan had last year. He unlocked so many games as far as, when he arriving late in the box, and I don't know. I think he was such a weirdly good goal threat, which they've got Haaland up front, but it was a threat that was not Haaland a little bit, and it worked. It worked a treat. Still an unbelievable side. Don't get me wrong; they're still in contentions and should probably go on and probably win the league. But we all, Man City always seem to start pretty slow, and you just never know. When they end up getting into gear, they always seem to find their form and stuff. But I mean, yeah, unbelievable side. I do think Gundogan's a massive miss, though. That's nothing to say that they won't beat Burnley tonight, but you know what I'm saying. I do think he's a massive, massive miss. And Mahrez, of course. How can I not mention Mahrez?
Yeah, Mahrez is a big miss as well. I think with those attacking players, but we've seen it over the last 3 or 4 years at City, where since Sané left, Ferran, Grealish, Mahrez, there's always been that kind of all those guys. Even Mahrez in his pomp, he went through spells of not been anywhere near the team, if you know what I mean. So Gundogan's probably the main exception, where Gundogan's always been in the team. You know what I mean? He has properly been a staple, fixture in the team, best 11 caliber. So I think Kovacic has definitely got big boots to fill in that sense. But Mahrez, the team, really the back end of the season didn't see much of Mahrez in it, so it's probably quite good forward planning from Pep and the team there. So I think this team looks really good. I was catching a lot of stuff, Harry, on social media last night and this morning saying Pep said Guardiola is ready to go. Ready to go. So he's got 30% to play, but I'm tempted to put him in a wee punty team.
I mean,
why not? Imagine he starts.
Yeah, that could be an unbelievable fixture for him. Opening game. I mean, they played massive money for him. There's no way he doesn't play. I know his first game of the season is probably the only exception to that, but yeah, I think it's a great addition to this Man City side. Defensively and obviously progressing. Yeah, I mean, this is not even Burnley's best team, which is, I know it probably wouldn't even make a difference even if it was, but Scott Twine starting is crazy. I actually really like him as a player. He's actually a really, really good football player. But I think he must have started maybe a game or two last year, max. He was not in the side a lot. He was injured for a bit, came on a few times, got scored a couple of important free kicks and stuff. He's really good from set pieces. But yeah, I found that a bit crazy how he's in the side. They've just signed Sander Berg, who I think he's a great player. I'm happy he's back in the Premier League. Happy he got a move. Zarawi's obviously really good sort of winger. This guy, I think they've signed him from Basel. This Zeki Amdouni. He looks really, really good. Lyle Foster, obviously from Westerlo, I think last year, and then Brownhill, Bayer, Connor Roberts, the team. It's still a very similar team to last year. Barring Berg and this Zeki fella. So I don't know. There's still players to come into this side, I think, and this is just obviously the best they've got right now. Does this do okay in the Premier League? Well, does this do anything against Man City? Probably not. It just doesn't, does it? Unfortunately,
this is going to be 4-0 City or something.
It's hard not to see. Yeah, it's really hard not to see that.
I don't think Burnley can lay a glove on them in this game. Yeah,
I'd be shocked. I'm interested to still watch it, but I do think that's obviously, it is a great Man City fixture. And yeah, then we've got PSV. We've got a couple of challenger teams. We've got 4, 5. We've got 5 challenger teams in a row.
We'll finish with Celtic, and then we'll go to giveaway stuff.
Yeah, perfect.
So we'll do Graz, Porto, Celtic.
No PSV.
PSV, Graz, Porto, Celtic.
Yeah. Perfect. PSV actually played Graz last night, I believe, right? In one of the qualifiers. Yeah, beat them 4-1, I believe. PSV scores were incredible, weren't they? They were stupid. I remember looking on SRD and there was just dark green scores everywhere. But yeah, there's a very similar side to last year, I would say, with the exception of obviously bringing in Noah Lang. I think Noah Lang's going to be exceptional this year for PSV. I really, really do. Obviously, back home in the sense, he's back in the Netherlands. Point to prove, maybe. He's an arrogant kid, but he can sort of match it with how good he is on the field most of the time. So, yeah, I think he'll be a massive piece this year, SO5 wise, challenger, whatever. He's not under 23, which is annoying. I do think Pepe will see a lot of minutes this year, but do think Luke de Jong will start the season. But he loves an injury, and he's obviously a bit older. And then who have you got on the wings then? Well, obviously, no Lang, one wing, Bakayoko, under 23 forward. Like I was speaking to Nasha yesterday, and he was asking me, like, who is the best under 23 forward? I didn't say Bakayoko is the best under 23 forward, but he was like third, fourth, fifth in my sort of like just my sort of brain, when I was just rolling off names. And I think he's going to be, he is just frightening. Like, he's so good. He falls into that winger category on Sorare where, they just get better AA than number 9s do. It's just part of the game, unfortunately, until that's ever rebalanced. Who knows? But yeah, looks great. Obviously, Sangare Veerman, I don't know how Sangare still hasn't left. It feels like he should have left years ago at this point in our sort of careers on Sorare. But yeah,
it was kind of the same thing at Toulouse, wasn't it? Like, he was there at Toulouse for 2 seasons, looking really good, and nobody came and got him until PSV took him, so
everything comes late with him, doesn't it? It's weird.
Yeah.
Because Forest were interested for a while, but they seem to have died down that interest. And yeah, Veerman's obviously going to be a massive piece, but obviously not under 23 anymore. But Skagli's back from injury, which is great. He's always a good SO5 scorer. Van Arnold, Romalo, and Teze at right back. It's a really good team. It's a really settled PSV side. This Babadi fella, though, when he gets a card, watch out for him. I think he's like 17 right now. He looks exceptional. He scored midweek, I believe. He looks absolutely incredible whenever he gets cards. Make sure you're sniffing around them. But Chani says Sangare linked to Bayern. Makes sense. Right now, they're obviously interested in.
I think if they get Kane, they've probably spent all their pocket money. You know what I mean? I'm not too sure they'll be getting anyone else after Kane. You know what I mean? Like, depends on price, but you never know.
Yeah, for sure.
But one thing about this PSV team I think is quite underlooked is that Peter Bosz is now the manager. And like, we've seen Peter Bosz on Sorare like lead a lot of teams to some great scores. He was the Lyon manager when we all first started playing Sorare, and it was like Depay and Lacazette and Fekir and all those good guys were rinsing it. And then he was really good at Leverkusen when we were all loving like Leon Bailey and Nadim Amiri, and Wirtz was breaking through at the team. So Bosz, like, he does kind of lose the rails with teams defensively in Champion Europe. Former Ajax manager as well, I'm sure. But in Challenger, like, he's just going to let this team go out and boss ball it and attack. And from all accounts, from everyone who watched PSV Sturm Graz, everyone told me that it was boss ball in full effect. But Skagli, Sangare controlled the middle, and it was just go and attack and play for it. So if you've got a manager you kind of know and understand, it makes it easier to maybe buy into some of these under 23s for the full season, because you know the guy, how he plays and what he does. So if that's a new name to you, maybe somebody to go and check out for.
That's a massive point. I was just thinking then, like, back to last season, obviously, Ruud van Nistelrooy was manager, and it just felt like it was just chaos every week. Like, he fell out with Veerman the one week, and Veerman didn't play for a couple of weeks, and it just seemed like there was a lot of carnage there. Obviously, then ended up getting the sack or walk-in, whatever happened. To have Peter Bosz in now and a settled sort of philosophy, team and stuff, I think that'll be I think PSV will challenge. It's PSV or Feyenoord, I think, this year. I know that's not rocket science, but I just don't see how Ajax win this league personally. Yeah,
this PSV team look the part for sure. Big Van Aanholt, Teze, they've got a lot of the main qualities you need to win domestic leagues, at these kind of levels.
100%. Sturm Graz, then, I guess, first Austrian team on our list. At home to
battered and bruised from PSV in the week.
Yeah. Did they play away? Was it away in Holland?
I think it was in Holland. Okay, I think it was in Holland.
A little bit of traveling to do, but not a ton. So they play Saturday. So what's that? Friday? That can't be right. So they played Friday. They have 1 day rest. Is that right?
Thursday to Saturday. Aye. Did they play Wednesday night? Maybe.
Was it Wednesday? Was it? Yeah, maybe it was. Yeah, it was. It must have been. I was going to say, that's crazy. 1 day full rest. But yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about this. I think we've said it last week as well. Obviously, you got Alexander Prass. There's a couple of under 23 boys in here.
Is there two William Bovings in the squad, or is this a mistake?
Wow. Maybe a mistake.
60%. He's the favourite midfielder and the favourite forward.
140%.
Definitely playing. He's definitely playing.
Yeah, maybe you get two of him out on the field somehow. Sherpin in goals, though, obviously under 23 goalkeeper, isn't in or doesn't have limited cards right now, which is annoying. But he is obviously in rare form and above. Decent, like good goalie. I think he'll do well. In Sturm Graz are quite a respectable side in Austria in that sense. They always seem to qualify for Europe and whatever. So yeah, no, good home fixture again. Less than 1-3 at home. It feels like all I ever keep saying is 1-3 at home. Every one of these fixtures has been that those odds. So yeah, they played Tuesday actually. Mickey seems to think. Okay, fair enough. So yeah, no, good fixture at home. But I mean, they're playing a team that are third in the league, by the way, Quinny. So I mean, they can't be that bad, right?
Yeah, they've had a good couple of games to start the season. Simon Stroudy, a tier 3 reward that I gave somebody that was worth nothing, finally playing football. So glad to see it.
Simon Stroudy,
yeah. But yeah, they're sitting third now after how many games they had? 2 or 3? So that's not bad.
Yeah, 3 games, not too many. Yeah, no, we'll see how that sort of plans out. Yeah, Porto next. Away to is it Morenese, I'd say. Yeah. I mean, Porto, one of the teams that I kind of follow quite closely. Being a Costa holder still, he's still at Porto somehow. Even with all, which we're happy about for now. Obviously lost in that Super Cup, like I said. They've strengthened in interesting areas. Obviously brought in Alan Varela, who I wasn't owner of, actually sold his card. Nico Gonzalez from Barcelona, was on loan last year to Valencia, but he's not down to start. They've got a pretty settled 4-4-2 going on here, to be honest. Again, this team's very similar to last year, if not the exact same. I honestly can't think who have they actually lost. Oh, Evan Nielsen's on the bench, I believe. He should be behind that Danny Namaso. Potentially, or Jean Mario as well. Yeah, so he's been injured for a while. Jean Mario, I still have his card. I'm hoping I'll be able to use him at some point. But yeah, I mean, I don't know enough about the other team to know how bad / good of a fixture this is. I think Costa's chances of clean sheet is like 50-odd%, 49%, I believe. So I mean, it's one of those ones where it's just the top 3 in Portugal and top 4 with Braga, I guess, and the rest, isn't it really? So yeah, another good fixture for them. I know the indicator's a bit messed up because there might not be much data on them. But finishing off with your boys, Quinny, before we do this giveaway, then Celtic away to Aberdeen.
Yeah, it's not that great a fixture. I'm not that excited about it SO5 wise. McBride's done the team here for Play Sharper. It's hard to argue with it, really. I do have this sneaky feeling about the Hatate somehow might play, but I just can't see anyone getting dropped. So it's a really funny one,
isn't it?
And going away to Aberdeen, like Aberdeen didn't do too good in the first game of the season to Livingston, actually. That was a draw. I managed to watch actually in here on the totally legal streaming services that I've got. I managed to watch half an hour of Aberdeen and Livingston, and Livingston had a guy that played centre back. By the way, I forgot to mention this for the Rangers bit, but like they had a centre back that looked really handy, and I thought he could be a wee cheap budget player one day. Let's see how he turns out when he gets a card. But Aberdeen didn't look that hot. It was on one of those synthetic pitches or whatever. So I kind of think Aberdeen will look at this as they want to start their season with this game. I had a statistic for the Celtic podcast, Harry. Wait till you hear this. Last season, the aggregate in the league between between Aberdeen and Celtic was 12-0 to Celtic.
Jesus, that crazy was it?
Over 4 games, yeah. So an average score of 3-0, basically, is the way it panned out over the season.
Didn't score a goal?
Yeah. Even with Duke, Kmiowski, and 12-0 to Celtic.
Interesting.
So it's a funny one.
Yeah. I've got a couple of Aberdeen players, and when you said it wasn't actually as good of a fixture for Sal, I was like, okay, maybe I've only played them in cap basically because I'm a bit worried that there just might not be any goals there for Aberdeen this game.
I wouldn't rule out one. Like Ross County got 2 last week. You know what I mean? So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Celtic seem to be conceding but winning. I know it's only 1 game, but if that's what we're seeing, then maybe Aberdeen are good for something. But like I watched the interview was it Barry Robson, their manager?
Yeah.
I watched his interview and he just said the synthetic pitch. I know it's easy to just blame a pitch, but he didn't really. Livingston made it really hard for them to play anything on that pitch. He said it was really dry and obviously it's a 4G and whatever. So back on grass, obviously against Celtic though. So so you can't really see much change, can you, in the starting 11 for the Celts?
Nah, I find it hard to back in the defenders. I'm kind of unfortunately I need to use the goalkeeper. There's just no two ways about that. So yeah, I think that'll be the team that plays. It'll probably be like a 3-1 victory, 4-2, 4-1. It'll be something similar to last week. I think some really good scores for the forward players, no doubt about it. It's just kind of hard to back the defenders, thinking that we're not going to get the clean sheet bonus, and because then you're waiting on what defender stands out. One of the two defenders will break 70, but without the clean sheet, it's really then, does someone get an assist? Did someone make a goal line clearance or something like that? It could be some of those kind of random unforeseens. But Ralston's quite good for cap. He's on 41 L15, so I'm sure a lot of people will probably see him as a great cap option. Taylor, I'm trying to avoid. Carter Vickers, yeah, he's probably pretty solid. And also we've not got a Navroche. So it just feels like the defence in general, it's just not like, oh yeah, let's go and like Starfelt's out of the building, so you've not got that card anymore, but it's, so all but firepower, I think, for the Hoops for this game week.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have a giveaway to do, Harry Boy, right? So we've got 3 cards to give away now, right? We'll start off with the biggie, and I'll show them on screen so you can all see it. Everyone will have entered by now. I've got everything just about set up, but so this is the prize. This is what I'm going to be shipping out now to one of you guys out there who interacted with the competition. Yangel Herrera, OG, I won it. 1 owner. My reward from game week 250. It's up to level 15. Should be hopefully around level 14 or 13 by the time you get it. It doesn't fall too far. And yeah, hopefully that will go into a nice wee gallery to help them throughout the season. Maybe they'll flip it into the market and have some fun with it, whatever, guys. But this is the kickoff to the season, guys. Where the Premier League started today and everything else that goes around the next couple of weeks. Because I think that, the Sorare competitions, we had the announcement of the Champ Euro buff up. We're yet to see the monthly leaderboards and some other bits and pieces. But I wanted this week to start with a bang. So thanks again to Josh for his generosity. It really makes this all possible, But the party is getting started, guys. We're trying to do as much giveaways. Harry's just started a Road to Glory series doing giveaways as well. And everyone who is involved in this space, we just all... The community is fantastic. It is all about getting stuck in together and having fun with this game. So I really would love to see this card go on and win someday some rewards. But if it goes on to the market and does some other stuff for you, whatever, that's part of the game as well. So brilliant. But really excited to kind of crescendo the season with this. And there's 150 Sorare scouts and managers from around the world joining us in the now, Harry. We should be up to 100 likes by now. I've not checked the like count. So if you haven't liked it yet, jump in quickly and do that before you break my heart. But yeah, hopefully this is just the beginning of what's to come for the rest of the season. Everyone who joins the live stream always enjoys it. We're only halfway through the show today, but hopefully this is just the beginning of a big season together in that sense.
100%. Quinn, I just want to, before you do this, we are only on 44 likes. I just liked it myself, so we need to get that up before this giveaway starts shortly. I'm not going to be giving away cards that the monkey gave away until we get to. We're up to 60 already. Thanks, guys. Okay. Let's get to 88. When we get to 88, we'll start to give away cards, right? But we need to get to 100, guys. Come on. So we've got all this set up and ready to go for the Yanghail boy. Okay, so let's load it up and let's see how many entries did we get. 838. Congratulations to everyone that took part. Thank you to everyone that took part. And congratulations to the eventual winner. Really excited for this. Really special card. A beautiful piece. It's hopefully going to make a big difference to someone this game week or in their Sorare journey. Their road to glory from zero to hero. And without any further ado, Harry boy, the winner of the Yanghail Herrera Super Rare is... you. It'll be Carlos. Slow Carlos. Congratulations, mate. You have won. Congratulations, buddy. I'm going to be reaching out to you now and get that shipped over to you. And then, Harry boy, we need to check the count. What's it on? You won. Yanghail SR. Boom, boom. And then, right, so we like to do these giveaways in the live chat, right? So I said we would do it in one of two ways. I've messaged the boy Carlos here, Emilio. So he's been notified. Hopefully we can get that shipped in before the deadline. And yeah, so we've got 2 limiteds to give away, Harry boy. Now we'd like to give away one in the live chat. We'd like to do a kind of question, and it's something that we can get some rapid fire on. I've not thought of it yet. I'll come up with one, no problem. But do you have one, Harry? It's just a yes or a no. You don't need to share it if you've got it locked. No, I don't have one immediately. No, but have I got time?
If you
okay, then that's fine.
Oh, brilliant. Just seeing I got a nice wee retweet off Nicholas there. Fist bump. Nico, if you're watching the show, thanks very much, mate. And big love to everyone over at Sorare. It's going to be a big season. And what was I looking for again? Oh, yeah, the Twitter stream. The Twitter stream. So I want to see if anyone's been interacting with that to see if we're going to give something away on it or not. So let's see. What is the actual Twitter stream? Brilliant. We've got 17 comments. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. A lot of you guys that are here as well. Love to see it. Love to see it. And yeah, maybe some people are, maybe about 10 people watching us on Twitter. Fist bump to the Twitter people watching us. Excellent. Right, okay. We're at 82 likes. Can we get to 88? And I think we had an interesting, I think we had Salzburg still to look at, right? So I'm going to go and put the Salzburg team up, just because I know a lot of people like to see Salzburg because they're one of those kind of big European teams. So I'll put the Salzburg team up, guys. We need to get up to, we're at 84. We need to get up to 88 likes, okay? I'll give you something to look at while you are doing that. But yeah, this looks to be the Salzburg team. They're at home to Austria Vienna, which is traditionally a big game in Austria. But yeah, that was just under Celtic in the matchups tab. So quite a strong looking game, really strong looking team. Quite similar team actually to what we've seen from Salzburg last week, Harry, in terms of the back four. Looks almost identical.
Yeah.
And yeah, we see Gluck, Kjærgaard, and Gurna all kind of retaining spots again. So looks like this Salzburg team's taking some shape.
Yeah, it does a bit. I mean, Gluck, to be fair, Gluck hasn't started yet. I'm now I'm a new Gluck. Gluck apparently is how you pronounce it. Yeah. So Jonathan tries to tell me. I have his red card and I haven't been able to use him yet because he hasn't started. But apparently 60% this week. They played a friendly against Inter Milan midweek, which was a bit weird, and played like a pretty good team. Like Gluck started, Soleil played. I think Pavlovic scored an own goal, I believe. So yeah, now it's a decent enough fixture at home for them. And yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna risk my Oscar this weekend, to be honest. But it is a good fixture if he does play. I'm sure you'll smash. Yeah,
totally. Right, we're at 91 likes. Thanks very much, guys. The next goal, we have to get to 100. Please help us out, guys. Come on. Now, if you're on the YouTube, have you got a question, Harry? So I've got one locked and loaded.
No, I've got something, but it's not worth a question. We'll leave.
That's cool.
Yeah, it doesn't warrant a question.
Right, are you ready? Get your keyboard out. You better have liked the stream already. Okay, now the answer is going to be a number. The number has no decimal points in it. It's just a number, okay? Earlier in today's show, we've been going through the matchups tab, okay? Me and Harry Boy were both taken aback by the forward matchup indicator score for Universitario. What was the number of the matchup rating for the forwards for Universitario? Go. Ooh. First answer I see is the one that's on, and it's on my screen. That's gospel. Yeah. So sorry, guys.
I know what I'm looking for, Quinny. I know the number. Pretty sure I know the number.
Yep. Now I can see numbers are flying in.
They're flying in. I've not seen the correct one though, Quinny. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are looking at opponent scores.
I do as well. Yeah.
Matchup indicator score.
You've got to listen.
So we're going to wait for the number machine to stop running because it's firing off like mad, guys. We're at 99 likes. Come on, we've got to get to smash through 100. Come on, guys, make it so. Make it so. We've got. So I've not even worked out. I think we'll give away the Turnbull into the live chat that's here with us today. And that says that we're at 100. Reece Davis is claiming or I don't know if that's his predictive score actually. I just see 100 there. I've definitely seen a right answer now. I know I've seen a right answer. But let's say now entries are closed. Entries are closed just so the live chat can stop running numbers at me and I can crawl back through it and find who's going to get the Turnbull. Now, if you're on Twitter, what I want to do for the people that interacted on the Twitter one is how do I find the tweet again? Is it this one? Yeah, it's here. Right. So how do I maybe give somebody something on the Twitter? Maybe we just do the retweets on that one. Well, I've got 35 retweets, 48 likes, and 17 comments. And it's the people that have done everything that I want to try and reward. So I think I'm going to try and find a comment picker. I think I can ask it for that. Comment picker. So let's see. Winner from tweet replies. Yeah, we can do that. Oh no, but it's not letting me tick that box. Important. Twitter has suddenly removed something. Oh. Okay, that won't work. Bar steward. Right, let's see if it works on the other system, because I thought that was a different one. Winner count must follow. And then I think this might just be retweet picker. Let's just put the other tweet in again to do a wee tester on it. Continue. Retweet picker. Yeah, it's just retweeting. No. Okay. Let me work on this one for a second. Let's go and find the correct answer from YouTube. Okay. So we're scrolling back through YouTube and we're looking for the first number. Now, the correct answer, guys, was, let me quadruple check it. It should be 27 was the correct answer. Let me put that on screen for you again. We were looking for the opposition match, or the matchup indicator, not the opposition score. I beg your pardon there. But the live chat absolutely blew away. Sorry, 2 seconds, guys. Let's do pop-out chat. And the first person that dropped in with a number 27 that I've got on screen, I think it's going to be, I don't want to speak too soon. I think maybe this is, yeah, this chat's way better. All the chats were popping off, and I need to be able to scroll back as far as possible. Oh, sugar. Yeah, this is the chat to do it on. So I've got a few different windows. Some of them go all the way back, some of them don't. Here we go, right? So here's the numbers flooding in. And let's see, the first number 27 we got was from... Oh, Rapid, by the way. I thought lots of people got it wrong, but this guy was in super quick. Torador, wow. Well done, mate. Now, I think, Torador, your name is Malba88. Confirm, Torador's won a few cards, Harry. That's how I know. Okay. Torador's won a few. So confirm your Malba and I'll ship you over Turnbull. And we're going to give away Illich somehow into the Twitter responses. So let me just refresh this in case a few more of these have entered it and stuff. We're up to 50 reposts and tweets and stuff. A bunch more comments are coming in. A bunch of these are probably now running away comments. So thanks very much. We'll do it on the retweets, okay? So make sure to like and retweet. Please just help me out. Don't screw me over, right? Just do the retweet. Please do all the things. Help me out in that sense. Please, I'm asking nicely. More things we do to help each other out, more giveaways we can do. You know the game, you know the script. Yeah. So we'll do one for there. Share this tab. And this will be for the Ivan Illich, thanks to SR Monkey. So let's load this one up. Load tweet. This is the broadcast tweet. Love it, guys. Thanks to everyone that has supported the broadcast today on YouTube and on Twitter. We are also on Twitch. And we've got some other stuff that I keep meaning to sort out before we come live, and I always forget, but we should be more places, and we'll get that sorted throughout the year. Anyway, without any further ado, the winner of the Ivan Illich is you, a Dundee United fan. Congratulations, mate. This is you here. I'm going to send you a wee message and try and get that shipped off to you ASAP. Congratulations, mate. And Torador, make sure to jump into the live chat. You won Illich. There we go. Yeah, make sure to jump into the live chat, Torador, and let us just confirm that you are Malba88. Yes, that is me. Yes, congratulations. Love it. Well done to everyone that entered, by the way. Great quiz, great topics. Thanks again to SR Monkey, who sponsored that giveaway, basically. The patron saint of the channel, of FC Barcelona. Be sure to check out the So Rare Ramble podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. It's all over the place. And yeah, him and Lagden do some good stuff. Make sure to check it out. Awesome. Right, Harry boy, what do we do now?
I don't know, but I just want to tell you that the Zerbi have said that Jason Steele and Bart Verbrugge will get a 50-50 split of games depending on form, availability, etc. Steele will start against Luton.
Wow. That's not nice.
I mean, I can
to hear.
It's not nice, no, but it's nicer than hearing Steele's number one, if that makes sense. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, it's not ideal, but I think it is better than that. But yeah, interesting, isn't it? Very
shipping rewards, Harry. I don't mean to be rude if I feel distracted.
No, you're all good.
Giving these a ship out. There's the Illich winner. Came back to us quickly. Thanks very much. And that should be heading through cyberspace to you now. Still not actually had a response, Harry. Don't know what you think about this from the Yangel Herrera.
Well, I mean, the rule is I don't know if it's a rule, but the unwritten rule is you don't have to be watching the stream, do you?
No, of course.
Which, no, I'm not saying you've said that, but I just mean, I guess. I don't
Just
know.
interesting. You'd think they'd be buzzing to go, oh wow, I've got a Angel Herrera before the game week.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all.
Well, it depends if they're like an avid Sorare player. They might not be is the issue. Well, maybe
They might
not
be
the issue,
sleeping.
but you know what I'm saying?
They might be sleeping.
They might be sleeping. They might have already done their teams. They're happy with their their lineups and stuff, or he could just be like a limited only player and doesn't have room to play an Angel Herrera anywhere. So, a super rare for that matter. So yeah, I don't know. We'll give him a bit long. I think we'll surely give him to the end of the deadline. I think.
Oh no, it's well, wait, yeah. I've double checked. It's not a fake account or something like that. It does look pretty legit or anything. But I was just when I sent the DM out there for the other one in Malba. Let me get yours sent over actually as well before I forget. Malba, it's beautiful. Torador wins so much on this channel, by the way.
Does he? Yeah, does well.
I've definitely sent Torador about 4 cards now at this point.
That's funny. Reese said he's more than happy to take off your hand if it's a problem for you, Quinny.
But yeah. And so we're about 40 minutes away from the deadline, Harry. We've not looked at prize pools or anything yet.
No, we haven't. And there's been some changes in prize pools of late. As far as, there's now ETH paying down to...
Can you do a zoom in?
Can you do a zoom? Yeah, should be able to do... How's that look?
Maybe one more. Yeah, maybe one more again. That's nice. Yeah, that was good.
So yeah, I mean, I knew Sorare had announced the sort of the redistribution of ETH / cash from gas to champion, but like I don't know why in my head, Quinny, but I didn't think for some reason they would be like paying down spots, after third, but they are. If you go over to champion.
The announcement wasn't clear on that front. They didn't say explicitly they were going to be paying more places, but it did. It was one of those ones where they were going to pay more places, or the podium was going to be mad fat.
That's what I didn't know. Yeah, but apparently they're paying down to 30th position, as you can see here. So basically, there's a threshold for 18th to 30th now in Champ Europe, which is really interesting. Then Champ Europe Rare, you've got even more ETH, I believe. So that pays down. Okay, so yeah, pays down to 15th, but I think, the places above that are a little bit chunkier. You get 100, 125, just below the podium, which is great. And then as far as gas goes, so this is going to change though, I believe, isn't it? So because they're going to be redistributing it to the long format as well. So for now, you've got gas obviously paying down to 80th position, which is crazy, isn't it, Quinny? 80th position gets 100, 31st to 80th gets $100, which is a lot. I mean, it's not easy to get top 80? Yeah, top 80 in gas with the amount of entrants. There's 5,800 entrants so far. Just under 2,100 in All-Star Rare Pro, and that pays down to 30th, but that is 200. So it's a super rare threshold basically on offer there. And then the podium's like nearly just over $800 for first. But yeah, I was looking at the amount of lineups. Yeah, 13,500 lineups in Cap 240 Rare, Quinny.
Wow,
that feels like an incredible amount.
Yeah,
I know it's always in like close to maybe 10K, but 13,000 or 13,500 was a lot for me. I thought looking at that, and then in Cap 240 Limited, nearly 27,000. That is growing. Like that's the most I've ever seen it. All-Star Limited just under 20,000. Premier League Amateur 91,000. I'm seeing an increase in entrances for sure. This game week, which makes sense, Under 23s, you got nearly just over 1.4K in under 23 rare. A decent ratio in under 23 rare pro, I would say 556 entrants for 55 cards so far, which is pretty decent. All-Star Super Rare is looking pretty tasty. 1.2K for first, and that pays $400 from 8th to 10th, or from 6th to 10th. Technically, get $400, which is massive, absolutely huge. Man, it just feels like they're going down the right track, doesn't it, Quinny? As far as the way that they're distributing the ETH a little bit. I think the next thing, they have to get rid of the academy stuff for me, the ETH that's on offer there. I think that needs to be put to better use personally. I think that can be put to better use, if I'm being honest. Why can't they pay down, and I'm going to be biased, but why can't they pay down to 15th in under 23s? If they can do it in gas, it's the same.
I think it's a regulation thing, but because
yeah, but do you have to pay that amount? Do you need 3,000?
Well, I don't know I don't know the details of it, so I'm not going to kid on to. But the way I got it explained to me in pure stupid person terms, because that's the way it had to be explained to me in, is there's a law in France that if you want to play the lottery, you can, but you need to write a letter or something like that. So it's some law that you can't.
If you have a look here, that's different to the academy. The no card entrance is actually
because those people because it ties in somehow. It's all one and the same thing. I think it's all one and the same thing. If that makes sense. So I think because they have to mirror a real competition, if you know what I mean. So and because their random cards could be a unique or a limited and all that, the only realistic division they could realistically get a team into on the RNG of the cards that they'll get assembled is going to be academy 99% of the time, if you get me. So it's something to do with all that stuff. So Sorare, one of the things I love about them, all the game stuff aside, is obviously they're quite trailblazing, and we know that they're really involved in the regulation of this stuff being developed. So this stuff is just from the interpretation I can read of it, it's just it's there until they have regulation that better fits what Sorare actually is. It's just their way of accommodating. Let's say it's some mad stupid rule in France where you can play the lottery if you write the lottery a letter with your numbers on it. They can't stop you if you enter it or something, some nonsense like that. I don't know. But I know what you mean. I think I said it somewhere recently where in terms of money, they really have all the scope they want to pay money out. They've just got to work out sustainability. How much can they afford to pay what is on a balance sheet and a spreadsheet, what is reasonable to lean against. So hopefully it's not too much of a move across. And I think money can always move up with the platform, dead easy.
Definitely. 100%. Yeah, Quinny, I'm debuting in under 12. I've played it before, but I'm re-debuting, I guess, in under 23 limited as part of the Road to Glory that you mentioned earlier that I'm starting. £100 budget for the season. Any rewards I win will be given away. If I win anything, hopefully I do. But this is the first game week. My first 5 cards. Got the rapid defensive stack: Madsen, Larson, and Badgie. Pretty excited, to be honest, mate, to go into it. I know Jonas Rapid played last night, so I'm a little bit skeptical on if he's going to actually start or not. He should, but you just never know. I'm excited to give away some cards, to be honest, mate. More frequently.
That's an exciting team, mate. Really excited about Badgie, and then Jürgen Larsen, aka Hendo, is doppelganger.
Double of Hendo, isn't he, by the way? Absolute double of Hendo. Hender's a bit better looking now. I'll give him that.
That's a good team, mate. Love it. A good budget as well.
I think it came in 90 quid it came in at. So I've got £10 left over for a rainy day. But yeah, £90 team. Obviously the goalkeeper being the most expensive. This is one of the big lineups this week for me. All the Liga-based outfield. Well, and Liga Santander, I guess. And then obviously Costa in goals. I've got an under 23 rare team that kicks off tonight. Gaston Avia for Antwerp, which I'm excited about. Rodrigo captain, Enzo, Timber, Premier League debut, and then Big Kim in goals. Cap 240 rare. This is where I've played the Aberdeen boys, Duke and Clarkson. I'd rather
a strong team, man. That's a strong team, Harry boy. I don't know your defender, but that's a good team, man. That should punch.
I know, it's a decent team. Emery has a cap of 34. Bazinu has a cap of 36. And then obviously the Aberdeen boys as well. Messelin, he was playing for Circle Bruges last year. And he's just moved to Bordeaux. And he started the first game. They lost 3-0 actually, mine. But they're at home this game week. So I fancy him there. Kickoff unique's just a throwaway lineup. Youssef suspended, to be fair. So I can't use my unique this weekend. Cap 220 should all play on paper. Duke, Amuzu, Balki actually plays tonight, and Cook as well should be playing. And it's a nice position to have, but I have not too many, but I have three super rare playing goalkeepers. My under-23 keeper isn't actually playing this weekend, so I've had to play Cap 220, which is not something I really care about too much. Cap 240 is the bread and butter for me, and this is what I'm going into that with. Slattery, Maatsen, Callum Doyle. Tistalingo makes his debut for me for Toulouse, and then Nishikawa in goals. It was a toss-up for me between Gaten Cook and Nishikawa. I couldn't really choose. They're both away from home. Both very similar clean sheet probabilities. It was a real toss-up, to be honest. All-Star Rare is something that I'm going to give a go. Or give it a go, I guess. This game week, I've got Nishikawa's rare card. I'm going to throw him in with Sekwe, Oscar Gluck.
Zakarian is shaky, mate. That's Zakarian is shaky.
Shaky, yeah. Well, he came on last game, scored in the 96th minute, midweek. I'm not too bothered. He's 70% on Play Sharper. I think he plays if I'm going to stick my neck out and say it. He was 90%. He moved down to 70%, but I'm going to go for it. Why not? I'm not too bothered about this lineup, to be honest. And then, Kulusevski away to Brentford. And then a little Cap 220 rare team. Bart, obviously, he's not going to start tomorrow.
Channy's got his finger on the pulse there. Zaki on his way to Sociedad as we speak. What a move that would be, by the way. What a move that would be.
Let me have a look on Twitter before I make any changes. Oh, yeah, 4 hours ago. Sociedad have agreed personal terms with Zakarian.
Here we go.
Yeah, I don't know if that's means he doesn't play, though. It's a good
mate.
move.
Behave. He's moving. Yeah, Chinese nailed it. Zaki, Kubo, Oyarzabal, Braze Mendes. That's Sociedad and Europe this year as well. They're going to be so fun to watch.
It could be pretty tasty, couldn't it? Okay,
No. I'm not taking my boys' sets.
He's taking all the sets.
No.
Who are we going to play in rank on him? Who can we play in here then instead of Zakarian if we don't want to take the risk?
See if you've got like a weak player. I would put Clarkson in here and put a weaker player in Cap.
Yeah, good point. I've got Aaron Ramsey at home tomorrow to QPR.
Because Cap is just Cap. You're not worried about podiuming on that.
I could go Daniel. Yeah, Utkin should do well actually at home to Ruben Kazan.
Cool.
I think. Oh, I got Carney Chukwemeka at home to Liverpool.
I think Liverpool are going to run them over, man. Honestly.
Probably, yeah. Okay, what we'll do is we'll go Clarkson in All-Star Rare, and then we'll go Utkin in Capped, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I think
it's just a thought with the Clarkson thing.
Yeah,
if he's going for a big score, then maybe he's better. But I don't know. It's just that was.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Clarkson is honest. Like I don't fancy Aberdeen at home. You know more than me about that sort of fixture. I don't fancy it personally.
If he gets one decisive, he's on 70 odd points, isn't he?
Yeah, but yeah, fair. I can see that. Okay, we'll go Utkin in there then.
But does Utkin need to do 70? That's it. That's the way I would think about this. Does Utkin more likely for 70?
Maybe better fixture for sure. Definitely a better fixture. I'm a bit of a mare here, aren't I? So let me go. I need to go to All-Star Rare, don't I? Yeah. I need to get rid of Zakarian. We'll add in little Clarkson. And then we just need to change our Cap to 20, which is not something that we really care about, but soul coins, baby. Yeah. We need those soul coins, don't we? We'll play Connie in there. Why not? Okay, we'll leave Arson out then. If he's
questionable.
No, I'm an Aberdeen fan now. I'm not dissing your team at all. I like them.
That's my biggie. That's my biggie for the weekend. All-Star Pro.
Angelino, Hart, O'Reilly, Maeda, and Furuhashi. Okay.
All goals. Trying to avoid that defence for Angelino, and then I can't avoid Joe Hart.
Midweek, he didn't start, did he?
Yeah, they were playing like a team. They rested everyone, mate. They still beat them like 4-0. You know what I mean? It was just
okay, so just a rest. Okay.
It's just let me check the Play Sharper on it actually, because I've not done that. So let me check that. Normally we get to most of my cards through the stream. Yeah, Angelique, he's at 65%. I think that's just because he was rested midweek. But yeah, I'm happy to go for that because I think that's all it was. But yeah, just going for goals, chasing the gung-ho approach, an all-star rare pro. And yeah, O'Reilly captain. Just treating that like three super rares, basically.
Double decisive. Double forward, double decisive is probably the goal, isn't it? There with Maiden for Hashi, like one assist in the other type of deal, one win in a pen, one score in a pen. I know Turnbull's on pens, I guess now, but okay, no, that's interesting. I mean, they're all away from home. Obviously, I know four of them play for the same team, so but it's a good. I mean, from what you know more than me, it's still a decent fixture. I imagine playing Aberdeen. It's not great, but it's decent enough, right? The Kaiser's going to Hercules. Apparently, Ian Sorare just said.
Oofed. He's going to play then.
He should play there, shouldn't he?
Yeah. Now, when I did the press conference video, I said I'm going to be going all Atleti, but like I mentioned earlier, without Riquelme playing, making the full stack didn't really make as much sense. So sticking with All Blacks, great goalkeeper play, and Depay, I still back him to start. But then, see, when I look at this, Harry, I then think there's a wee bit of suboptimal here, because really, I probably should put All Black in the All-Star team, but then it kind of collapses on itself a little bit. So I'm going to stick with playing champion, because I think I've got the outfield to carry it. And I don't think, we've looked at the matchups there. Arsenal got a great game. Maybe Brighton were looking all right, and Atleti, but there wasn't that. Yeah, there was no PSG, not that brutal. No Bayern, Real Madrid away to Bilbao.
Arsenal United is the only two I would say, isn't it?
So I fancy that for a shot. And I've moved Llorente up because he definitely plays, and I'm going to put Llorente into this team, and I'm going for champion super rare I'm going to. Somebody mentioned it in the stream right at the beginning, but Sheffield United is a plum fixture in the Premier League, and I think for that unique Edward, if he's going to score 6 or 7 goals this season, let's say even if he did amazing and scored 10 or 11, I think 1 or 2 of them are going to happen in this match playing Sheffield United. So I feel more pressure to play him this week. I'm not going to be playing McGregor unique in anything significant, which does kind of hurt, but I think Edward's good for a goal, and I think the rest of that team, goalkeeper aside, as long as Getafe don't concede 3 goals. Somebody asked me earlier, they said the Play Sharper team has Getafe playing 7 defenders at the weekend. So I just thought,
I saw that.
They are. They're going to be playing a back 5 with then 2 centre backs playing in front of them. And they're just going to counter attack with Latasa, Mata, and Elena. So Elena might get double decisive, Harry. We might
2 red cards. You got more chance of 2 red cards than 2 goals.
Yeah.
See, you know what's funny, actually, Quinny? I was actually looking in pre-season and SofaScore. Elena was scoring a couple goals.
Yeah,
he's been scoring goals, mate. Yeah, maybe he heard what I was telling you about him, and maybe he's got his arse in gear.
Yeah. So I do feel like, I know Champions just had a boost this week. There's money in the Super Rare division as well, down to the top 8 for £100 and so, so maybe it's a wee bit more competitive here, but I feel with there being no Serie A, no Bundesliga, definitely there's a lot of cards that just won't be in this region. I'm not sure there'll be that many uniques that will hit as hard as mine. I'm not sure there'll be better captains than Brais Mendes potentially. I think my fullback's great. I think my midfielder's great. And like I say, Soria, as long as he doesn't concede 3 against Barca, he'll probably shoot me 50 odd points or something, So I think that team could be so good. And I think like playing Soria with like the Celtic super rare stack with McGregor unique, it feels like a rubbish team. Like Celtic away to Aberdeen, probably score 2 or 3 goals, probably don't keep the clean sheet. And Soria probably doesn't keep a clean sheet. So is that team even going to fight that high? I struggle to think so, but I do think looking at this team, they could punch, So wish me luck on that one.
Punch in this. Yeah. No, good luck on that. That could do well. Yeah, sorry is the only worry, not only worry, but the biggest worry. But yeah, well,
if it does, he'll kill any team if he concedes 3. Doesn't matter then.
Of course. Yeah, for sure.
So I've saved the super rare firepower. That's kind of part of the thinking. They'll score goals. Make sure they go into a team that can hold them up. And that's kind of the best I could do with it, if you get me. So that's been the main thinking coming into this game week. And then there's some other teams lying around that I'm quite excited for in some other ways. Let's say the Champ Euro one I've showed already, the Celtic one, and Cap. I'll have a Cap team go out. Marshall looks to be in, played midweek. There are guys injured. So I'll have a 5-man team going out in here, looking to shoot down some Ethan, maybe a card. In Super Rare, we're playing a 4-man play. And I'm sure there was something else I was halfway excited about. Oh, yeah. We've got a Road to Glory team, Harry, right? So Etienne Vassin, there's a poll on my YouTube channel now to decide who's going to win Etienne Vassin. It's about a week overdue. I'm terribly sorry, right? But we're going to play him in this game week as well because it's so overdue. And if this team wins anything, then it gets given away, kind of idea. So we're going to get Vassin on the go. I've put Guardiola in here. I might drop him, right? Because I just put him in there for shits and giggles, really, to be honest with you. But Sorare, I fancy him to play. He'll definitely feature. Savio's got a cap of 0. So he makes a huge difference to this 220 play. And then even getting Daizen Maeda into this as well. So for a 220 team, like maybe we'll talk about Guardiola now, but I think that's really punchy and could be fun.
Good team.
Would you have some other options? We could play Manu Sanchez. He'll definitely start and definitely, he's safe. The rest of the guys are maybe a bit sketchier. Maybe there's somebody in training we could use. But yeah, we've got Manu Sanchez. We could use Greg Taylor. We've got enough points for that. So yeah, maybe that's one. What do you guys think? Let me put a wee poll up, right? Who would you play? Start a poll, right? Taylor. Because this will help you guys win something. Because anything that wins, give away to you guys. Taylor, Guardiola, Manu. We have Gudmundsson. I don't know how many options I'm allowed to use. 4, right? So I'll put Gudmundsson as option 4. We could even use Ralston. I don't know if you would pick Ralston over, would you call him Taylor? But maybe you would. I don't know. So it could be Gudmundsson or Ralston for number 4, basically. So I'll just put Gud/Ralst. And I can put both their names in, actually. And if it is that one that wins, then I'll open that up. I don't think it will be, but defense 220. There we go. The caps are on the wrong way, so you can laugh at me for that as well. There's a little poll in the YouTube live chat. Let me know who we should fill in. We're 18 minutes to the deadline. Who should fill in the Road to Glory team here? I fancy Josco for some fun. Maybe you want this to actually win something, but so I can give you it, and you want to pick somebody like Taylor, Ralston, Manu Sanchez, somebody like that. So let us know before we clock on into the game week. We've got 18 minutes left. The poll is out live now. I'll let the poll run for, let's say, 2 or 3 minutes. If you guys drop a like as well and jump into the live chat and drop a vote. I'm sure there was something else I was moderately like, oh, that could maybe be punchy, but I can't see what it is now. I wonder if I've maybe deleted the team and forgotten about it or something, but no, I don't think so. I think it is I was really excited to have the full Atletico Madrid play, which also isn't happening anymore. I've got a 4-man play for 240 super rare and some other stuff like that I'm not too mad excited about, but yeah, so I've got 4 teams: All-Star Pro, Champ Pro, All-Star Super. No, Champ Super. They're the 3 main ones, and Cap 240's got a 5-man play, so looking forward to that. As far as the Premier League goes, Harry, I made a wee draft change. I brought in Son, and I think this team looks pretty good for the opening weekend.
Jesus Christ, yeah. That's frightening.
Yeah, beat that.
That's really good. I think ridiculously good. Jesus. Yeah, I don't think there's much. I don't think we can get around that, to be honest.
And a little move I made is I traded in Alex Garcia into my commons. I don't think he's got a good game this week, but his L15 is at 40, and that will change. It won't be as affordable to me later. So
yeah,
just a wee play I've made. I just thought I need to change camera. Sorry. A wee play I've made that I thought I would just share with you in case it's something you haven't thought about doing with your draft. It's something you can maybe have a look at. Maybe there's somebody that's not that great this week, but actually through the season you want them in. They will reset the draft obviously when the new cards come out, but even just for the next couple of weeks. If you know there's somebody that you'd fancy using. I didn't do the French one. I still can't be bothered with it. And I'm not going to bother. But yeah, I'm quite chuffed with this team. And it's hard to imagine somebody beats me. I've got 4% XP on Saka, big XP on Haaland, big XP on Ederson and Van Dijk. Son is brand new in. Can I see actually how much XP I've got? Yeah, 3%, 4%, 3%. So good to be differentials there on the XP.
Potentially. 100%. Quinny, when do you think these new cards are going to come out then?
You've got to think. So, with Dan in the Sorare data interview thing he said they were going to try and line up. They thought to line up with everyone else's marketing push, like FIFA, Football Manager, and Top 11. And I know Dan used to work for Top 11, which is why he always puts them in that breath, because he's obviously they're quite close to his heart in that as well. And obviously quite a big player in the space. So I do think that that's probably the timeline that we're on for everything. And even though it is like the new season, and I'm going to be buzzing, I've already got in my mind, I've already seen into the future in the sense of like, I'm going to be sitting down in the house. I'll have had a big Premier League card, maybe even that Premier League team smash, and I'll be tweeting out first match of the day as a Sorare manager, like properly. Like this will be fucking magic tonight, like getting stuck into it. So even though we'll have a wee bit of that today, I do think it will be, somebody said here 12th September. I think that kind of date is probably what is in mind. But I think they should be doing it ASAP personally. But hey ho, what do I know?
Because that's a month. That's a month tomorrow, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, 4 weeks into the season seems to be the format that they follow, doesn't it? Just going off past years. Obviously, it all depends on picture days. I guess it also it needs to kind of depend on the transfer window as well, Quinny, doesn't it? Like, having a player like Harry Kane, in a Bayern Munich kit is obviously going to be good for Sorare in that sense, and everyone involved type of thing. So, the quicker those things can happen, the better, because then the cards can be minted and stuff. So I think that's the only issue, isn't it? Like, whilst the transfer window's still on, I guess that's why, midway through September kind of makes sense, because transfer window's done in August, right?
Yeah,
30th of August. Yeah. So yeah, okay. So it gives us like 12 days, or gives them 12 days or so to get every bit of media they need in.
The right team, cards, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, 100%.
So the vote's quite split, by the way. It's Guardiola on 39%, 44% on Taylor, 15% on Manu. I think we'll let it go. It's been going for 5 minutes. We'll leave it another 3 minutes, right? Because then that's 10 minutes to deadline. So 3 minutes left. We've got some people thinking that Diaz won't play, so that means Guardiola will come in. Maybe that's why Pep has said Guardiola will play. I think you want Guardiola playing Burnley more than Taylor versus Aberdeen. Being reported that Diaz isn't travelling with the team. Oh man, that makes me just want to keep Guardiola in and dingy the vote. But but we have put it up to the vote. We'll let you guys pick. It's neck and neck. I think this information is maybe swaying the vote ever so slightly. But we'll give it another 2 minutes. So get the votes in. Guardiola or Taylor, as it's basically became. Let it be known. Suffers a concussion in training. Ouch, yeah, man. That feels like Guardiola's starting, and I think we want Guardiola on a team, man. That feels so good for 220. Etienne Bassin's a beast.
I wish I had another goalkeeper now, because my 220 team would be alive in that sense, but because it has Bart in it, who isn't. But I can't be asked going to buy one, I got to be honest. But yours looks tasty.
Yeah.
It does look tasty. Yeah.
Scrap it off. Pep said, what does that mean? Scrap the poll. Oh, scrap the poll, Pep said. Well, Guardiola's now at 45%. We've got 1 minute to go. Guardiola's in the lead. So I think this will be the team locked in. Now, wee bit of jeopardy on Sorare starting the game or not. There's not really another option I can see to bring in, unfortunately. Acevedo isn't on at start, or I would throw him in. Maybe he is, but not on play sharper. Nobody else is really jumping up. So Sorare, for better or for worse, we're going with him. Let's all cross our fingers he does start over Kangin. And Savio's nailed to start. Dyson's nailed to start. So this is a strong team. And yeah, we're going to close the voting there. End poll. Thanks very much, guys. We've just confirmed Guardiola over Taylor again. Sorted. Cool. And I do have a little academy team with Taylor in it. Actually, I was just thinking, where is Taylor? But he's in an academy team. I've got a little Celtic team in academy with a probable DNP keeper and Captain Unique McGregor, kind of. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Maybe it wins a fiver. That unique.
Have you been able to use your McGregor yet? You haven't, have you?
Oh no, yeah. This season, do you mean?
As in, like, you didn't use him last weekend, did you? Because you didn't have a super goalie, right?
I did, yeah, but I had no. It was a 4-man team or something. I think I put it in kickoff.
Right. Yeah, it was a kickoff team on that.
But in general, he's been pretty prolific. It's been a fun card.
Yeah, I just mean, the fact that you can't use him again is a bit annoying.
Yeah, we're looking forward to Big Eddie. But
yeah.
Edward. Not
Guy needs to start scoring goals, Quinny. Has to start scoring goals.
I think he's got it in him. I think he's got it. I'm really
He
excited for this
does.
weekend. Yeah, I mean, once he gets in, if he plays, he scores, man. Look at back at Celtic. Decent, not amazing, actually. Decent. Is that
Yeah, he was
Celtic?
good. He's very good at Celtic, wasn't he?
Nah, it's good. Not
Do I
amazing.
still have? Mickey says, "Do I have Matson?" Yeah, I still have Matson. To be fair, mate, I'm playing him in Cap 240 Super. I'm very excited. He's been scoring goals pre-season as well, and like you said, probably replaces Tanate in that 10. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to keep Matson this year, 100%. And I'm buzzing. Slattery had a 30 AA last game for Motherwell. I love Callum Slattery. I can't lie. He's my savior of the gallery.
Maybe he's coming in clutch,
Nice
isn't he?
yeah, because like they're older. Like I can't even think about playing them in under 23 now. So like they have to go in cap for me. It's one of them where like there's no contemplation realistically, and it relieves the pressure on me having to play under 23 guys there. So yeah, I kind of in a weird way I like that. Like the fact that they age out now, it doesn't actually bother me as much because they just move over to cap. They're just cap players then for me, you know. Yeah.
We are less than 10 minutes to the deadline, guys. I'm absolutely hyped. I'm thinking we're going to be conquering champion Europe, maybe a bit of All-Star this weekend. Let me know, anyone who is here still watching us all the way up to the deadline. It's 150 of you heroes here. We've smashed through that 100 like barrier. These are absolute legends, absolute heroes. But let us know what divisions you're targeting, what you're aiming for. I'm hoping to maybe do some content over the weekend and stuff like that as well. So maybe you'll catch me doing a wee watch long or something like that. Harry, what's your, like, for me, it's all about Sunday. I'm going to be watching Celtic Aberdeen on Sunday, and I'm really excited to watch Liverpool Chelsea from like the Premier League. It's probably the biggest game. Aston Villa Newcastle will be fun tomorrow as well. What's your kind of highlights of the weekend?
It's kind of split between Saturday and Sunday, which is kind of obvious, but yeah, I'm interested to see Barcelona against Getafe tomorrow night, Sunday night, sorry, and then Real Madrid away to Bilbao tomorrow night, Saturday night, not Sunday. Other than that, there's a couple of 3 p.m s. Like I've got Callum Doyle playing for Leicester at 3 p.m, but I'll be playing myself at 2:30, so I won't really. It's nice not knowing what's going on type of thing for a bit. I'm interested to see that Celtic game. I will try and catch the Aberdeen Celtic game at 12, definitely. Other than that, there's Costa's playing on Monday night. I will try and catch PSG Saturday night as well. They're on at 8 o'clock. But that's probably the extent of my viewings this weekend, to be honest. Obviously, I can't really do too much midway through tomorrow, but after that and before it, because what's the early kickoff tomorrow in the Prem? Or Arsenal.
Arsenal, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll try and watch that. See how Timber gets on. But yeah, no, I'm really excited, man. It's gonna be a really nice weekend, and just nice to get back into the full swing of things, and hopefully start doing well on Sorare again.
Aye, I'm buzzing for it.
What we got here? Matthew says, I'm targeting limited to 40 baby steps for my budget philosophy. Mate, honestly, everyone, that's the starting point, really, isn't it? Like if I was to start now, it'd be the semi-pros, and obviously be cap 240 limited as well. But I was listening to Nepenthes yesterday on Sorare Data talking to Laird, and he was like, someone told him that he built a cap 240 limited team for, say, 80 quid or whatever it was, and he's managed to like
did he? Yeah.
Did he? Yeah. And like, and that's not everyone, unfortunately. Like Nepenthes was saying, like everyone should be doing that. That's not correct. Not everyone should be doing that because it's not possible. Like, nobody's all the same. Not everyone has the same amount of skill / luck / all that. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't. Nobody should be. Not everyone can do that. It's not possible. I don't think.
I think at limited 240, mate, you could do a lot of handy work with 50 quid.
You could do handy work, but I'm not saying there's a reason why that tweet's doing so well, because not everyone's tweeting that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
that's the way you got to look at it, right? So he's doing something that not everyone's doing, and that's kind of why, it's like not an anomaly, but it's an achievement. But no, Matt, like, it's just getting the ball rolling, isn't it? Once it kind of snowballs for you, then you're into cap 270, then you're into All-Star Limited, and then before you know, you might have a cheeky rare card that you picked up for 20 quid because you knew he was injured for what. Like, that's just kind of it, isn't it? It's all a snowball effect. As far as building galleries up and building lineups up, and we all start in different places. Jerome says he has a Celta Vigo rare stack debut. Sounds interesting. I hope Larsson's in there. Iago Aspas, Larsson, the boys. I'm so mad Courtois is injured. My Real Madrid collection was going to cook this season. I mean, it still might. At least I have Loon in handcuff. that Courtois injury, man. I feel like McBride like had that coming with the tweet. He tweeted his lineup 3 hours before with Courtois in, and then 3 hours later, Courtois pulls up an ACL. Like, what? I think he's cursed him there, personally. I think that was a cursed tweet, personally.
I thought we did a great show with McBride, me, Hendo, and McBride on McBride's channel. A wee bit of the black, you know, our little group chat's called Black Clock, so that's what I always call it. But he's just called it the McBride podcast. Whatever you want to think of it, it's a good wee session. But I said to him when we were on that, I was like, mate, I was telling him I thought Atletico Madrid were on for a good year this year, and I said to him, mate, he's just sold All Black last week. He won All Black Super Rare last year. Like, it was one of his first big rewards. Sold it last week. Courtois crocked. I was like, mate, I felt so bad when as soon as I seen the injury, the first thing I thought about was that All Black that he sold. Because
mate, somebody called like Mr. Bid. Did you see yesterday? He had bid on.
Oh yeah,
it was on auction, and mate, it was like $4,000. Like, but obviously he did it after we found out that he was injured. Just gutting for, you know, like putting up, like pre-bidding on a card to then find out that he does his ACL is just fucking torture, especially just before the season. Like,
I seen his cast as well, mate. His cast goes all the way up his leg, so it's full surgery, full tendon, you know, like all the way up his leg kind of vibe is what I thought. Hendo's got a great question for us here, but he's saying goals for the start of the season. Any pieces still to add, or is it full steam ahead with SO5? Now, I'm not going to go into it in too much detail, right? So I'll have it in a little video, but I've got a little list, Harry, of cards I want to win this year, because normally I kind of look in prize pools, and you guys also on the channel, you kind of know how I roll. But I thought, do you know what? See, the beginning of the season, we've got everything now. So it's not like, oh, I can't think about winning a Foden because we've not got the Prem, or I can't think about winning this card because we've not got it. You can now kind of think about winning anything you would realistically like. So I made a little list. I can't find it, and I can't remember every day that was on it. But I definitely want to win a Foden this year, 100%. Like, I'd love to win a Foden. And because, like, sometimes the way the tiering works, maybe even something like I'm playing Champion Europe, you know, could be, you know, maybe we win a wee Super Rare or something. I don't know. I'd love to win a Foden this year. I'd love to win that. Obviously, Celtic, Man City cards, all those ones kind of go without saying. And I did have somebody that wasn't like that I thought, yeah, that's a great card. I'd love to win. Griezmann. That's what it was. Griezmann. I'd love to win a Griezmann. And I've got Van der Voort on the list as well. 2 top rewards I'd love to win, kind of. Because Griezmann's always too expensive for me. I've never wanted to pay the money for him. But he's thoroughly worth it, you know. But I just never wanted to. But I'd love to win him, you know. So Griezmann and Van der Voort, for obvious reasons, again, thoroughly want him. Not got the wallet to go and buy him. So that's me, Harry. What about you? Have you thought about it much?
Yeah, I mean, I spoke about it on the podcast. I don't have names, to be completely honest. As far as like my prep, I still think I'm like I still think I'm a star rare under 23 defender away from being like set in rare, if that makes sense. I also think I'm a tier 1 or above under 23 super rare midfielder away from not being set in super rare, but like just being way more complete, if that makes sense. So I need a rare defender and a super rare midfielder is kind of in under 23 form. Is kind of like my only missing pieces, I would say. I don't really have any. I mean, there's names obviously, but I don't really have anyone. I'm like, I definitely want this guy. Like, I'm open to, you know, anyone in that sort of, you know, upper echelon of those pools. But as far as like winning cards, I mean, you know, I've been lucky enough to win some big cards, to be fair, but I've not won a Haaland, so I would have to say that the winning him would just be great, obviously. But like, he's kind of just you know, I'm sort of aiming for the stars there, I guess. But I've won a Vinny, so he's basically the next best thing realistically, or better. Can't win Mbappe in under 23, so yeah, it's definitely a Haaland. Yeah, I'd like to win a Bellingham. I'd love a Bellingham in the gallery somehow. Yeah, I don't know if obviously I've got Rodrigo and Vinny, so it makes sense. I'd love a Camavinga. Like I do want to start like starting to build up a Real Madrid collection, because I do think, you know, the youthfulness in their sort of side now, it makes more sense to stack over the next couple of years and stuff. So yeah, would love to get that in, or them in. Yeah, there's nothing outside of that. Maybe win like a really decent goalkeeper, like a Van der Voort, Chevalier for Lille, someone Trubin. Like I'd love to win someone like that. I've already got enough goalkeeper. I'm not saying I'm short, but it would always be nice to just keep adding to that for sure. But yeah, we're locked and loaded, Quinny. On another note, apparently everyone's saying we're in. It's done.
Yeah. And we normally do this.
In.
We normally do this off stream, Harry, right? But we'll do this to end the stream, I think. Okay. Let's have a wee peek at next week. Let's see what's going on. You know. So first wee glance at midweek, we've got some qualifiers again. Anything else on? A wee bit of Peru. One game in Brazil. It's at Ecuador. Conference League, yeah, a bit of a barren midweek again. A couple of wee J League games there, a couple of K League games. Nothing for me, maybe something for you guys out there. Wee bit of China at the bottom. Fun little midweek, nothing for me, but yeah.
I have Nishikawa's rare and super rare card, so I don't know what to do with that. I might try. The issue is if I win the cap this weekend, I won't be able to sell him for next midweek. So it's one of them where like if I know I'm not going to win the cap 240, I'll try and list him maybe, because I don't really need. I have 2 super rare goalkeepers. I have 3, like I said. I only need 2. I need 1 under 23 and I need 1 for cap. Realistically, I don't need Nishikawa and Cook. I'm not bothered about playing cap 220 super / cap 270 super. I don't have the cards around them to really make use of another goalkeeper. I prefer to sell realistically. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Nishikawa this weekend if I win the cap. I prefer winning the cap than keeping him, but I won't have a team for next midweek is my issue. So I'll just have a couple of goalkeepers that will be lonely, probably rotting in academy.
Well, guys, have a great game week. Good luck to you all. I think I'll probably do a wee watch along Monday night for Atleti. It feels like a good night to do a watch along at the end of the game week. Harry, good luck to you. And as Hendo says at the bottom here, everyone, good luck and go fuck.
That's it. GL and GF.